Hello, and welcome to the circus. I'm really hoping today that we get to some sewing because this week Brynhild and I kind of got into a little bit of a tussle over this project,
Yikes.
and I tried to ask her to do things that she didn't want to do, and now she's mad at me. Very mad at me. Very mad at me. But let's do something happy because Loki's like, human, you've made me wait. You turned the camera on 15 minutes ago and you haven't given me snacks yet. I'm displeased. You're on the table. Here, cat bomb the. Put your butt there.
Right.
Right in first. Come on. Okay.
I still haven't got used to wearing my glasses.
Oh, it happens. I know. Human got some reading glasses from the Goodwill last week and it's like, oh, I can see. Funny what happens when.
Hey, Kilroy!
Hey, Gilroy. Oh, Loki. All right, we're just gonna hide Brynhild and just have cat butt instead.
Oh, my lighting. I need to turn my lights on. I am not ready today. The weather doesn't know what it wants to do here. It's like hot, cold, and windy at the same time.
Yeah, it's not hot here, but it's windy and yeah, dual camera because Brynhild needed a spotlight today. I hope Alibaba shows up. If not, everybody we can walk through this and see. So, long story short, I threw off the timing on my shuttle run.
You
She
might have
doesn't.
to do some surgery.
I know. I'm like I don't know if because she doesn't catch that it's off time in my shuttle run. So I spent yesterday like trying to figure out how to take it apart. My friend was like, "Why don't you look in the manual?" I was like, "Oh right," because
Okay, so there should be an adjustment where you can adjust the arm. Because
yeah,
if the timing's off, it's a matter of literally getting the timing going, at the same time. So you just have
right,
to adjust the arm.
yeah, and I guessing it must be the screw in the front here. I guess I could. Can I turn her around? Where's my.
Hey, butterfly.
Hey. Okay, let's see here. Let me. Oh, of course I moved stuff and then didn't move enough.
And Gilroy, I am right now I'm making the shorts that you suggested because you commented on my video of my 44 yards of fabric, and that's all I'll admit to you that I have right now.
Right.
Kidding, I have so much more.
It's I only see one screw, so I'm guessing this is the screw to take out for the faceplate to open her up to reset the needle bar. I have no idea. Now I'm like,
Yes, but look, because there could be ones hidden on top and underneath. Once you start loosening it, you'll know because if it's not moving, then there's a screw somewhere else.
yeah, because there's one here at the back also.
From experience, you just got to start taking her apart.
Yeah, I know.
You just got to take her. And the funny thing
It's
is,
simple. I'm like, there's not that many pieces. It's just.
in Phoenix, that machine is a boat anchor. It's made to be taken apart and put back together a
Right. I
million
figure
times.
I'm not the first person in 140 years to have done this. It's been a while. Do I need a bigger screwdriver?
Even on my newer machines, I can tell when someone has completely taken the body off and everything because their screws missing, or like it'll have a sticker on the inside.
Oh.
I bought another touch and sew because I'm crazy and I have to hunt for the cord.
Okay, come on, unscrew. Oh, if I put some oil, will it help loosen her up?
You may strip the screws, so you want to go and dry. I know it
Okay.
sounds awful.
This is gonna hurt, baby. But hopefully this hurts me more than it hurts you.
I go and I've destroyed stuff, so I've learned to you got to take your time, but don't lube it up.
Okay.
Especially if you're pushing too hard.
Oh,
I'm making dinner. I'll be
Hold
back
on.
later. Awesome. Awesome.
I'll be I gotta deal with something.
Yeah, they made things to be maintained. Yes, I agree with you, Kilroy. There's tools I have that are made to be taken apart and put back together. Even my Husqvarna chainsaw, it's from the 90s. I have Frankenstein that thing 5 or 6 times, but it's all Husqvarna parts I use, but it's not even the same chainsaw anymore from when I originally pieced it together.
Okay, well, they hung up on me. Okay. We gotta unscrew you, baby. I'm so
Is
terrified.
that's Broomhilda and not the new one?
No, this is Brunhild. Yeah, so there's no electrics. It's just.
Oh man. So Kilroy, you also suggested that I should make a jacket out of the black and white pattern, and I went looking through my coats and I made a black and white jacket because I'm crazy. But I'll show it later. It's early. We're
Right.
just dipping our toes in right now.
Right.
It's
This
early.
is just the beginning of me starting to cry and realizing I should have got a stronger. Did I get some sun? It might. I think it's the lighting because I look pasty in the other. It's that my computer camera is making me look super red. But my other
Yeah.
one, I still look like my normal vampire. So I look like I do have two different skins.
Do you know how shocked people are gonna be when they meet me and I'm 2 shades darker? I just have really good lighting in this room. Uh,
Oh,
Are you kidding me? I've actually, I, I have actually met 2 people in real life off of YouTube, and neither one of them were weird.
oh, good.
But
I'm
both of
gonna
them
break
said
my
this.
screwdriver before I get this screw started.
They both said the same thing. They're like, "Well, you're darker than what I thought you were." It's because I have extremely good lighting in this room.
Oh, all right.
So, there's been so much that's been going on lately. Where should I
Yes.
begin?
I
Um,
seriously.
How do you feel about being followed around stores? I'm gonna go off about this tomorrow because I have pictures.
I in what capacity? Like with a camera or just people being weird?
Oh, really quickly, Kilroy has a question. Is that the original box with the
With the white, if so, it has been taken care of. Honestly, I have no idea. The woman who sold it to me didn't ask. I mean, it could be. There is like one spot where it's chipped a little bit, but is it on this side? But yeah, no, everything looks good until I fucked up the timing. why did why did these stupid trapeze boots? And I know what I did. I was going over because I used some bias binding and it didn't
Mhm.
catch all the way. So then I was like, oh, I'll cut some strips and use my bias binding foot. But then when I got to the parts that were already stitched, it was too thick and I like tugged a little and like pulled
Yep.
and I like
Oh,
I know exactly like
I've done that.
it's completely my fault. But now I have to
Honestly,
fix it because I made my baby.
in a weird way, I think that's how I murdered my Husqvarna Viking from moving it around too much involuntarily. Because I do major projects on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, I was like tugging and pulling and it was tight and then everything was getting stuck in the bias foot and oh okay, it's
I
supposed to be righty tighty lefty loosey, but come on.
I'm gonna go off about this tomorrow, but I scared the manager at Hobby, like one of the managers at Hobby Lobby.
Oh god.
Okay, so let's review what I was wearing first. Okay, I was wearing a red cowboy shirt that has the cowboy cut, but I wear it because it's an outdoor shirt made to get destroyed. Like it's a
Mm-hmm.
work shirt. But I forget that my godless sewing patches scare people. I do because in I literally live in my own little world.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Godless, you're gonna have to form the Husqvarna Viking Appreciation Society and how much you talked.
Seriously, this is the unofficial Husqvarna fan club page.
Well, it's because they're semi-sponsored at my job. So like a goof, I went into the store and that was like the first sewing machine I actually purchased and paid over $800 for.
I still haven't done that.
But I didn't want one with I didn't want one with electronics because my Singer Brilliance, it's the greatest sewing machine I've ever had, but it dies on me all the time. The
Yeah,
electronics are just like I quit, and then it works again, and then the electronics quit again. Like
right.
I
If
pulled it
if
out.
your computer needs a firmware update, or if your sewing machine should not need a firmware update, no thanks.
As a matter of fact, I pulled it out because in this stream I'm going to work on it again because it decided to start working again yesterday, and I
Well, at
was just
least
like,
one of us can sew. Cause
oh, it bothers me. It bothers me because I loved that stupid machine. Yeah, I'm a Husqvarna Viking enthusiast. It's because they have great salespeople.
yeah. Oh god,
Okay, so let's. The only time
the
I'll ever
stream
pay
where I
that much
melt down.
is when I finally buy the industrial machine. You know, I agree with you. I lose my mind sometimes. Back when I didn't have any money at all, I paid for my 6 string banjo right here. I literally spent a whole paycheck on my 6 string. That's why it sits in this room and I stare at it.
Yeah. Like if you're not getting played, you need to be fondled
Oh
over.
no, we hang out. We hang out all the time.
Oh, well, does
But it
anybody
still
have
works.
any news about this like explosion, this supersonic boom that happened in DC like an hour ago?
Oh, do to
Like I
Twitter.
just I just saw it as I was getting ready to start to pre-cry. I might ugly cry on this stream.
Rumble. Oh come on. It won't let me have my dual. I have the same accounts on this phone, but some sites won't let me log in twice.
Oh, that's weird.
And Rumble will not like, but I'm logged into this computer and I'm logged into my phone.
That's funny. I have a hard. I don't. Ugh. Okay.
Because Rumble, let me turn the volume down on this one. To Twitter first before I go to Rumble.
Yeah.
I'm so done with the world and tuned out. I will literally be the last one to know when something actually happens because I'm just done. I'm done.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of U2 and gangster rap lately.
Fair. I had to take a break the day that Biden fell. That's all I saw for like 6 hours. I was like, I need a break. This poor old man needs to just like go hang out with his ice cream and his grandkids and just like take a break.
There's
Go
a
away.
sonic boom heard by my dog Rocket in Fairfax Station. Oh, I love. See, this is why I love a good ring cam. I love a good ring cam. Okay, but you didn't feel it.
Right? Yeah, they just heard it. So that they said it was from the National Guard or whatever. Is
As someone who lives near an Air Force base, there's all kinds of stuff they do that they don't tell you.
I know. I love it when they do their training missions and we're like, oh, that's a fast airplane plane.
Kilroy. So, fun fact: whenever I drive to Vegas, I drive through the Mojave Desert. I
That's
love the
funny.
Mojave. I like Mojave, California is a scary, methed out place. I wouldn't want to live there.
Where isn't a scary methed out place these days though? That's
Well, the industry came in and they put windmills out in the middle of nowhere because
oh
no
god.
one lives out there.
Yeah.
Mojave, the town Mojave is just a front because there's the big gorge out there. There's Calico. There's actual desert stuff out there, but you have to go out in the middle of nowhere. Well, they put cell phone towers and those windmills all throughout the desert, and they gave people jobs for a while, but all it really did was give people money for meth, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
scary.
this a
It's
screw too?
a
Oh
scary
my god.
place. But Mojave's awesome because it's the only place I know where you can drive out in the middle of the desert and see the Milky Way. Well, our
Mm-hmm.
version of it, our swash. E-
Right.
Everywhere is methed out now. You got to go to the moon to get away from it at this point. I agree, Gilroy. 1000%.
Why?
It's so sad. It is so sad. How do you, oh, that guy's a creep. I got to get off a Rumble. Where is Phoenix Electra's channel? There you are.
I'm there. Hang
There
on.
is a oh, that's a short. Here we go.
Oh yeah, because it's my placeholder video.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Because I was like, what the F is this?
Yeah.
Now I know exactly what you're talking about. Do you know what's sad? You're right though, Gilroy. Like California, we call it Methylvania
Oh god.
because so many people are on meth here. Like it's so sad. It is so sad. And like pot's legal. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs.
Right. There's enough legal stuff. You don't need to do the scary, weird, illegal ones.
And I can buy gummies at Walmart. It's a different world. I live in a different.
There. Oh,
They
who is the? Did I see that this week? Somebody made a edible that was like the Virgin, that looked like the Virgin Mary.
Oh gosh.
Oh, now you have me repeating things I want to emphasize. Congrats.
Damn right. Damn right. Oh, that reminds me, now that everyone's here, I have started a Penelope Keith channel. I absolutely love her. It's on the Godless Sewing channel. You'll go. I've
Okay.
turned my brother Neckbeard channel. I turned a negative. It's an old sock account I would fight people on. So I turned something negative into something positive, and I turned it into a Penelope Keith channel.
Okay.
And I already have 21 subscribers. So to the 19 people who subscribed, I love every single one of you.
Yeah, all right. Thank you that we're up to what 54, and I think after this week I'm going to have over 1,000 hours of watch time. So thank you for everybody who enjoys listening to me complain, and usually so, but today is going to be the day I cry on stream. I feel it.
No, trust me, like that day that I went to the sewing machines, I was like, it all goes back to the day when I worked at the gay Starbucks and our manager yelled at us. He's like, "This is Starbucks. How can you not have coffee?"
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. That is a yeah.
and yeah, Kilroy, and I tested them for science because I thought they were just bunk. And like, I went to bed early and I was holding onto the couch and they worked. There are legitimate gummies and they're Walmart prices too, so they're affordable, dude. Yeah, they're cheaper than the ones at my pot shop. My pot shop are like, they ain't cheap. They're
Yeah.
not. So yeah, legitimate gummies at my local Walmart. Well, they're probably at all of them around here. I just like saying my local.
Right, because there's just the one you usually go to.
Well, I had to switch because the one that's within walking distance of my house has become ghetto because it's right off the freeway.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I go there, the cops are there.
Oh yeah, that's no fun.
And like, I just want to buy fabric and cat food. It's not even that complicated. It's not even.
Yeah, my life is simple. Just.
And so I have a strange question, and since you're having a bad day, I'm gonna bring it up early.
Okay.
And you can laugh at me. How do you feel about the word cuck? And I ask it for a very specific question. It's going somewhere. This is actually going somewhere.
I don't care. I mean,
in today's like bro dude world, calling someone a cuck is an insult.
Oh yeah, because it means that your wife is sleeping around with.
Who's that one guy who said the N-word? Who's the one guy who said the N-word in front of Tana Mojo? My son talks about him all the time. He's a YouTuber. He wears glasses.
Oh yeah. I
apparently his girlfriend has an OnlyFans, so my son's constantly saying, "Oh, this guy's a cuck. This guy's a cuck."
Well, they're
I don't
mutual. I
even know
mean,
what it
you
means.
can. Yeah, just his. I mean, I think it's short for being cuckolded, and because that's the whole. Oh, the guy with the beard. That was Jack Murphy.
So, the reason. Oh, hold on. Oh, they ripped out the white tile. Every auto parts store around my house still has the white and black tile. I love that.
That's so classy. Add a
It's
little like
class.
pink and mint green. You've got like my 1960s kitchen of my dreams colors.
If I didn't have so much junk in here, I would have done that to the floor in here. I would have made
Yeah.
this black and white tile. So the reason why I ask is because I buy things because I'm impulsive. I'm compulsive and I'm crazy. So I buy things because I like the color.
Mm-hmm.
I did not read the insignia on the side. But hold on, let me see. Did I keep the receipts? The receipts are somewhere in here. I purchased a hockey jersey. Let me get it. I added a patch. I'm adding a patch. I haven't sewn it on yet.
Oh, please.
So you're having a bad day,
Oh,
but
God.
remember
That's all you're having.
that Godless Sewing purchased a jersey that says cuck on it.
Oh, God.
And I was like, I'm gonna cover the cuck patches. It literally says cuck underneath right here.
Wow. That's like full cock.
But I was thinking I added the Diabolita patch, and I was thinking about putting insert your wife here just to
Oh, that would
recover
be
my
really
manhood.
funny.
Just to
That's
recover
funny.
my manhood on this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So this is a work the cuck, but I was gonna pull this out tomorrow, but you're having a bad day.
I am having anybody who uses the word cuck seriously is either 14 years old or needs to go outside way more, and this is coming from somebody who hates the sun with a passion. Ah, yes, a human after my own heart.
You
I know that's why I was
literally
like, I can't be sunburned.
you literally just described my son. I tell him all the time, I'm like, bro, we live in a place where the sun shines. You are not allowed to be pale. You are not allowed to be pale. Like there's a rules against these things. You have to look Greek.
At least look Greek.
Well, he gets that. He has a great tan because he has African ancestry. So he gets this
Right.
amazing tan, but he has to go outside.
Hey,
Hey,
skits.
Skids! Skits, did you catch my cuck jersey? Please tell me you caught the cuck jersey. I will be showing it tomorrow. I might be
There'll be
wearing
more
my cuck.
cucks around.
See, now I have to now because you're having a bad day, I'm gonna have to tell you the story about the Germans. I met this German couple that really liked me to the point where the man sent his wife over here and I was dumb and her and I had relations. And then he showed up at my front door and I was thinking he was going to beat me up.
And I was
And
like, oh, dude, he just got cuckolded.
no, he looked at me and he's like, I want to watch.
That's
So
him
he was a
being
cuck.
cuckolded.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
that
was.
this is the definite. You have the jersey, and I think he needs the jersey more than you do. Where's the godless cocks?
Oh,
Muscles do
the
this.
godless cucks. And it's weird though. I think the jersey does fit though because like soccer moms love me. Soccer moms love me,
Yeah,
but I have a rule where I don't date cops' wives because those are the guys that'll put you down, like
yeah,
Benji. They'll take you
yeah.
behind the shed like
Oh
Benji.
well, that's oh my god! Didn't even want to think about that story about the two dogs on the highway and the cops. Um,
Dun,
on
dun, dun, dun.
yeah.
Alibaba.
Oh, my savior may have just arrived, though. I
We've been waiting
um
for you, Alibaba.
yeah. So my trapeze boots, Brunhild and I got into an altercation, and I fucked up the timing on my shuttle race. And now I'm trying to figure out where to unscrew to start resetting things, and I'm scared. And I'm not gonna cry yet. I think I might need a bigger screwdriver, but
Don't cry. It's fixable. It's
I know.
fixable.
I'm sure I'm not the first person who's done this. It's just I'm the first
And
person in a while who's tried to unscrew these screws.
Skits, that's gonna be my fourth channel. Is the Godless Cucking channel.
That's the OnlyFans channel. Yeah, is what I've been saying for 3 days now since Friday because I just want to sew and the bobbin thread does not pick up. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's what's wrong. I'm guessing, like, unless I've misdiagnosed the problem, but she don't
You,
stitch.
you might have to do some surgery. Take off the faceplate and
Yeah,
start looking to see what specifically.
right. How to reset the timing on the needle bar? Maybe
Is
is
this?
this that is this a screwdriver that is port? No, I'm using my crappy Kenmore one. I'm gonna. Oh, no, I haven't broken it yet, but I'm the screw.
You got to get a big one.
Yeah, I might need to wait till Human comes back to get me a bigger screwdriver because
Oh, if you
and
look any closer, I have a tool pouch that's dedicated to all sewing machine sizes. It's
I
all screwdrivers.
yeah, no, I've seen this. What is it, the Chandler or Bands of the Sea? Is the screw at the top here the one I'm trying to unscrew? Which I should start by trying to unscrew the right one. Oh goddamn.
Let me go look at my white because I think it's only a couple of screws and she should pop right off.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I saw there's a little one, a tiny one here.
Because before I ever took apart an electrical machine, I would take apart the old clackers, the old.
Right, that's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, this. Yeah. There's no. I'm not going to electrocute myself. You need to have
To
the needle
reset, you need to
coming.
have the needle coming up when the hook picks up the thread.
Okay, well, let me see if I can. Let's start with the simpler options rather than the Phoenix cries and has the longest cursey word rant ever. Now, where did I put my shuttle and race?
I'm waiting at the co-op for my order. I can't go camping. I'm going camping. They can't
Oh,
go camping
you.
without etiquette weed. I agree.
Okay. Let's.
I went to the store yesterday because I didn't think I was going to have enough time to go today.
That faceplate is not like others. Don't tell you this is not the faceplate you're looking for.
I'm going to do the hand wave. This is not the face that you're looking for.
Oh, Jesus. I was like, been waiting for 3 days. I'm like, hopefully my saviors all show up and we can figure this out.
I knew I can do it. I just can't describe it because my English is terrible. Alibaba can diagnose from Canada.
I'm seriously, well, knew which hole to put the oil in through thousands of miles of internet and etherways. Godless, with your mouth open like that, you legit remind me of David Lee Roth.
I love that man. I love that man. I absolutely love David Lee Roth. He was in every form that he was, and even the crazy like I refuse to let my hair go version he is now. I love that man. I love him. You're reminding me to pull out my brilliance. I don't know why it started working last night. It just decided to start working.
Well, Mercury's not retrograde anymore, so sometimes that helps.
I have made. I constantly talk about, I made so much on this machine. No, on my brilliance, I've made a ton of stuff, and I'm loyal to machines.
Okay. Get in the hole, I said. Just get in your hole.
And this
be
evening on the Phoenix Electric channel, this is the innuendo stream.
I was just gonna say that same thing. Yes, we're full of piss vinegar and innuendos tonight, folks.
Okay, so now that everyone's here, which hole exactly to? Oh, you missed it earlier. Can't do this.
Right, because we were gonna go in dry with the screwdrivers.
I told Phoenix she's got to go in dry. It's the only way. When you're unscrewing faceplates, it's got to go in dry.
Oh God!
See, we're here for you. We are here for you to make you laugh, to tell crappy jokes. Kilroy's got me inspired. I'm making spans. I'm glad I cut them before because I always sit here and end up getting baked and just talking.
Right. I know. I usually try to prepare a little bit. Fix me up, stick it in the hole. Gosh, you folks.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Oh, is that not the.
Oh, that Sudafed sinus is kicking in. I was feeling terrible. My eyes are swelling. And let me tell you, it's from poor diet choices. I've been going off lately.
Gosh, again?
All
All
sugar
right.
stuff.
Hold on a second.
No worries. So when I start making terrible diet choices, my eyes start swelling. That's how I know I've been hitting it too hard. That's another one. I didn't even try that one. That one wasn't even on purpose. But I am. This is Godless Souling as Bob the Builder today because the weather does not know what it wants to do. I changed my shirt. I had my Lake Tahoe fire shirt on, the Lake Tahoe fire department shirt on. Say that 5 times. But it was too hot. And fun story. I actually got that from somebody I dated. So shout out to South Lake Tahoe Fire Department. Firefighters are fit people. What it's okay. We're gonna have days when today is a not today bobbin kind of day. Today is when the bobbins do not feel like playing. Today's one of those days where people make t-shirts that say not today bobbins. Well, it's today. And that's okay. They can't all be winners.
No. Okay, it's just sliding.
The weather here has been too damn hot and dry. Some of PA's actually under a drought right now.
Oh my gosh, PA doesn't get droughts. I mean,
That white can't be out that much. I'm telling you, it's going to be an easy fix.
right. That's why I'm okay. Now that I'm like, I like good about stuff, and then I get on in front of an audience, and sometimes I'm like, stage fright, can't put the shuttle race back together. I'm like, it's only 2 parts, and I just got to slide in and clip.
Oh, same. Like, I watched
my tatas off.
I watched a stream from like 4 months ago, and I could barely like I was like stuttering on threading a machine. I can do it left-handed in my sleep.
Right.
But I got stage fright because I was talking about it, you know?
Yeah.
And I started over analyzing, like, oh, they're watching me, like, but it's something I do a million times, you know. I added a monitor because I have too many more equipment in this room than I can admit. But I have it on my old camera and I can see it because it's above my head, but it's a little blurb. But I'm waiting until I put so much electricity in this room that it's
you're gonna zap yourself again.
I like having that light above my head. That's very like cinematographic, like cinematic. Like I'm in a movie.
Brunhilde's been working the corner. No, you don't know the life she lives. I can only imagine the amount of cute negligees, chemises, slips, all the naughty clothes this machine has sold with a whole bunch of leather just for good measure.
Doing and explaining are 2 different things.
True.
Literally. I need you to narrate sometimes because I know what I'm doing. I just can't explain it. Because I'm like, just watching my bob. You make a left here. Then you throw it against the wall.
I know. All right, sit in your hole. This stream went downhill since before I started.
It's okay. It's that kind of day. I'm wearing overalls. It's that kind of day. I'm a farmer. Oh, Alibaba, since you're here, or anyone in general, how do I fix my old whisk scissors? These whisks are older than me.
Yeah, how did you break them?
They're just getting loose, and the knob is stripped, so I can't necessarily. You see all the damage on the screw right here. and these are all original parts, so it's kind of stripped, and I don't want to take it apart and then not be able to put it back together.
Mhm.
And I have a pair of old Vicks that are almost like that too. These are
Mm.
literally older than I am. Because I know how to sharpen them. I just I don't
Rick's
want to
Cruiser.
destroy. Should I just replace the screw completely? Old
That's what I
screw?
would go through. I'd just put a new screw in.
Because these are like old school metal, just made somewhere in Wisconsin. They're Wis.
Right?
They're literally Wis. Cut another slot perpendicular to the striped one and use that. That's not a bad idea. Or replace it. I was thinking about that too because I don't want to get rid of these, and these are quality scissors. They're just 50 or
Mhm.
60 years old.
Right. Well, they don't even. Somebody was saying that the newer shears, the sharpeners won't even bother because they're so cheaply made. But if you, the old ones, they'll take the time to sharpen them.
I had a meltdown recently. I don't know why I muted myself. I bought a bunch of screws from Lowe's, not realizing they were cheaper, and they all snapped on me. Hey,
Hey,
Waternay!
hey! Oh, have fun
And
with Mama.
yay! I just I don't know. I cheaped out on the screws, you know.
Yeah, it happens. Oh, okay. Maybe if I go
So
in from
newer
the
screws just
bottom.
aren't made reliable. I have to buy the really expensive ones stuff. Yay!
Okay, get in your holes, baby. Sorry, Waternay, you caught me at a. I'm fighting. Brynhild and I are having a. We're having a tussle today. That's been
Today's
going
a
on for 3 days.
sewing machine malfunction kind of day. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to pull out. I'm gonna have to show you my collection. Today is innuendo day. Today is the day of innuendos.
this is the only thing that's gonna save me from breaking it down.
I have a collection of singer parts that I'm gonna have to pull out because it's missing, but I can find them.
Right, right. We need those parts.
I'm glad that the name Brunhilde is living on.
I know. She just. Well, I figured white German company. I think I was like, she just reminds me of a old German Viking.
So this is my singer brilliance. I love this stupid thing. I have made countless things on this, but I say this all the time. As a purist, I'm not a fan of sewing machines that have electronics. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe I'm a baby. But the electronics eventually die on you when you. I sew every day, so I destroy sewing machines.
Yeah,
No problem. Do what you need to do. They are sexy
can you
machines.
see the? I mean,
Are.
I've got the shuttle and the race in my hand, and I can see. What am I going to dump off the table and? Okay, what are we sitting on? Okay.
My machine was literally the first electronic machine. I am not afraid of them.
Okay. So.
I just don't like how the screen gives out. And then there's nothing
Yeah.
I can do because I'm not a computer. I'm not a computer whiz. I have you two stuck in my head. I have stuck in a moment, stuck in my head. I was having a moment. I listened to that song and it almost made me cry. Almost. You've got to get yourself together. Kind of fitting.
Yeah, because
So, while we're talking, how do you feel about the debate me bro culture?
I think people just have too much time on their hands.
Because I was thinking about like I'm always trying to branch out, And sometimes I say hello in the wrong chats because the name throws
Uh-huh.
people off to begin with, you know? And I've kind of fallen into a crowd of people that are our age, but they're from
Mm-hmm.
Chicago. They're from the Midwest, so they have a different experience. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I'm a little too like my suburbanized it would just piss me off if someone called me whitewashed. Let's be real. Let's just get it out there. Let's just tell the truth. So I'm almost reluctant to go on there because they're gonna spot me a mile away. But I want to get involved in the conversation, and they're always talking about religion. And
Mm-hmm.
like I have a very unique point of view on that, you know. My machine was literally debate me bros are obnoxious, need a hobby like sewing. I think that's what it is too, because and a lot of their stuff is easily debunked. There should be a grub screw. Oh, on that
What
part
is
that you, it's the little double end screw. They're black and they're tiny.
like
Grub screw tiring to attach those parts that needed to be adjusted. I think they're the black. I probably have some laying around here because I am nothing but sewing machine parts. There, it's a little baby black screw that's movable on both sides. It's like inside of the machine or inside the part itself. It may or you may not have one.
like on the race cover? So,
The screw should be where the round part attaches to the bottom shaft. It holds the thing in place and doesn't have a head on it.
oh, okay. So there is this flat thing. I have a flat with on this disc that's got these four round cutouts, and there's these two little white metal. Okay.
Oh yeah, that Zoom works. Oh heck yeah.
Might have to rotate the shaft around on the shaft. Look for that grub screw. This is the best shit ever, but I'm learning stuff, but I'm so confused. uh, okay.
And it's not the fact that they're gonna call me whitewashed. It's just that I have a different experience than they do, you know. And I don't consider it a bad thing, but I know eventually someone's gonna say it to hurt my feelings, so I don't even know if I'll join the crowd.
Yeah.
But I
If
like
you
the
get the
debate.
feeling that they're already going to be weird, then well, you're an adult. You can make your own choices.
You know what it is? They're just they I'm addicted to YouTube is what it is. And sometimes there's been certain crowds where I'm like, "Oh, I just like watching this. I should not join."
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like my upbringing would be more of a distraction because I'm the real life Carlton Banks. And I feel like that would be more of a distraction than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Because people get fixated on certain things and like where I'm from, they would be considered weird. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
all
Okay.
life is perspective. Not on the flat, the other side where the shaft
Here's
is.
the shaft. Okay. There's lots of screws. No, what was that part? Let's see here. It holds the things in place and doesn't have a head on it.
Or maybe I'm just being over analytical.
Let's see here. Get up my trusty phone flashlight.
What did we do before our phone flashlights?
What's wait,
You okay?
yeah, my YouTube on my phone must have been playing something, and then when it shifts, it um goes to another program sometimes. And then I just tried to put 40 pounds of cast iron. Okay, so I see. Here, I'll try not to block. Okay, so it must be this little piece at this far end. There is a flat thing, a flat piece.
Gilroy, you and I have the same you and I have the same frame of thought. I come from way different angles in every crowd and not so I'm so it. So I just run my mouth, expect blowback, and use the blowback as a source of entertainment. I'm the same way. I'm not easily I was raised around people who don't look like me, so I don't get I am not easily offended.
Oh, because this is why it was called. Okay, wait. So, like, this part should not be the complicated part about putting this race back together.
You know what it is? I do not go looking for stress. So if something's gonna stress me out, I don't do it. And it's I guess I'm so detached that it's intriguing to me. Did it work?
Yeah, well, I get the race attached. Yes. Okay, let's see how we can figure out what I fucked up
It's
on the
just weird to
timing
me to
now.
watch people get so mad over talking about things. Like right now, Phoenix has a reason to be mad because something is physically going wrong.
But I'm not mad, frustrated, but I'm not mad. We haven't gotten to the tears and the cursing quite yet.
That day that I pulled out 4 sewing machines, I could have cried. I could have
Oh,
just
that's,
like
yeah, that
puffy
was,
faced. I was done. I was so mad that day. I was so mad.
okay. All right. Race put back together. Okay, let me take my white fabric,
But I
go to
also
Bob, and
feel
we'll see.
like I'm detached from the world though because I live in my own sheltered little world. I try to branch out. I want to know how other people live. But the problem is that people are so myopic. They'll look at my existence as a threat and it's happened before.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. And I get offended when people ask me, "Do you sew?" No, I just call myself God the sewing.
Right, because I'm the king of the Stitch Ripper instead.
I'm sitting in a room of battle vests.
Sewing machines,
This room looks like a Tijuana shop.
but higher with higher prices.
You know what's really funny? I'm wondering about that. If inflation has hit Mexico,
Yeah, I don't know.
there's no way to be a even in certain groups we still are different. Look at the wars that were fought over one stupid small difference in opinion about something. I agree with you, and I think that's what it is too. Is that I am so foreign to this crowd. I don't know if my presence would be like, oh, he looks just like us, but he's different. Let's bring him in because I'm old school. Like in my town, any person of color, like me and my friends would go walking up to them and be like, hi, who are you? Where are you from? Welcome.
Because we know all the other black kids in the neighborhood. You're different. You're
In
new.
high
You're new
school,
around here.
in high school, literally, like we would walk up to people, like if you were a person of color and it was your first day, you were not like we would walk up to them like, come join us,
Right.
come be our guest, you know.
You will be welcomed here.
But that world has changed. People in general are not nice to each other. And so
No.
because I genuinely I have become an angry person because the world is just effed up. But in my heart of hearts, I'm a nice person. But
Mm-hmm.
the world will kick the F out of you if you're nice, you know?
Yeah.
So you
Well, it's
can't be.
always been like that, though.
That's why I take everybody individually as they are. Yes, people are so damn different everywhere you go. Thank you. I know black people in Maine. I know black people from Arizona. I know, like I know cowboys in Compton in Texas that are African American. Like, and I think that's another thing I want to stress to people that like not the internet pushes stereotypes too much.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is that people want to live these stereotypes and then they push it to younger people thinking like there's other ways to live, bro. I promise. I
Yeah.
promise. It's the counselor in me that wants to be like, hey, you can live differently.
Right.
But I also am not here to. I've learned a lesson from the crowd that I was in previously that people, they like, what's that saying? Familiarity breeds contempt.
Uh huh.
Like people, they start hating you after a while.
What? No. Okay, come on.
Where is? I bought another touch and swear. I took a picture of it. It's on my community tab.
Touches.
I have an addiction to those machines. I do. I just do. I'll admit it. People go with the crowd just to go with the crowd. Eggs, Phoenix, did it pick up the thread?
No, it's not picking up the thread.
You got to keep working it. You got to. That's the shitty thing about timing. You just it's practice, practice. This
So
is
if
how
I
you get
just,
to carny.
so
This
how
is
do
your
I?
way.
What do I have to adjust it, or just like keep cranking it until eventually it's gonna like pick up and start sewing again?
Yes.
Okay. All right, man.
And you got to keep adjusting like
Where do I
whatever
need to
you
be adjusting though?
call sewing. I am sorry for your last purchase. I think I own like 9 or 10 touch and sews. It's a problem. It's a problem. You have to keep adjusting, like whatever you did to get it where you are now, adjust it again. And
So take out the race and then put it back and like twist fiddle with it a little bit.
you bought another. Oh, I bought another touch and sew. Keep turning it before you take it apart again. Keep turning it. Because sometimes the stupid thing just catches. I bought another touch and sew, but ever since you said touch and swear, Waternay, I now call them the touch and swear because I had never seen a self-winding bobbin. Because I do not buy fancy sewing machines. And so when I bought my first touch and sew, that thing was from the future. I was like, what is this contraption? And I learned the hard way that touch and sews are the most overambitious sewing machine I've ever come across. You're the dawn of the touch and sew. Really, I'm gonna have one hell of a display when I open my museum. Is what it is. And in the 1960s room, I want to have 15 touch and sews. And that commercial that I am obsessed with is going to be playing in the background.
Okay.
The Touch and Sew Mafia. That's a TV show. That's why I love my Athena 2000. Self-winding bobbins are the best. Wow, that's a machine. Now that's a machine. Leave the race in. Rotate the shaft with the grub screw loose a bit to adjust the race, shuttle, and bobbin. Where it
Okay.
picks up the top thread to bring it up to the bobbin, thread again. I have to put my glasses on because we're learning stuff today.
I know. This is against all the. We're not supposed to usually learn things on this show, but today's a special day.
Well, between me buying a Cuck jersey and Broomhilda not working, I think it's important to talk it out today. It's important to talk it out. And yes, I literally bought a jersey that says Cuck on both arms.
So you're a double cucker?
I'm going to show it to my ex-wife and she's going to fall on the ground. She's going to literally fall on the ground.
The rotary hook needs to be at the point where the needle starts to rise up and open the top thread to loop to catch the shuttle hook. Okay, so let me. I know maybe that's why they said when you're to take it out to put the needle in partway so it's primed to catch it. Okay, we can do this, baby.
My Athena is quite the machine. She has gotten many hugs and things. That's on. That's like that's on the list. That's on the list. But for some reason, where I live, everybody's grandmother or grandfather owned a singer.
Well, it was a classic. Everybody wanted a singer, and
I live in singer country, USA. Every time I leave the house, I see a singer. What is it? Is that my version of Adidas? All day long, I dream of singers.
Dream of singers, yes. I think so.
Patent pending, patent pending. I put my glasses on. I'm thinking of cliches
Right,
already.
now we're being smart.
With my glasses on, I officially have turned into my brother and my father, like in one sweep. Oh, that's funny. All right, so I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna show you the fabric. And then talking about. So I agree with Kilroy. They think I should make another coat out of this,
Oh, that would.
but
I would go for a vest. I don't know. I'm thinking like a nice like tailored vest where you have to do like pattern matching and be fancy.
I was thinking about that too, or like I was thinking about making a motorcycle jacket. But is this close? As far as the pattern?
It's pretty simple. I mean,
Because they're close.
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just glad you're wearing your glasses and not trying to piece words together.
Hey, aphasia. I'm trying to bring awareness to aphasia.
Right?
This isn't a not singer problem. This is just a sewing machine problem. Absolutely. I'm just shocked at the amount of singers that are in my area. In the Los Angeles area, it is a singer showroom. Man, my temperature jumped up a couple degrees putting this coat on.
Right, it's getting hot in here.
But I really have to look, and like this is made out of the bubble material, which really makes me wonder. Like I had a ton of that stuff because I still have 4 yards on.
Oh, yep. Allie agrees. You don't need another look-alike coat. You need a tailored vest.
I was thinking about that because everyone freaked out when I made my Renaissance smock, and I put my Misfits patch on the back. That was actually that is still talked about. I'm gonna go put it on to see how much weight I've gained or lost.
Okay, right. Oh, moments of truth.
I won't
Woven
do it live,
garments,
though.
they either fit or they don't.
And I was not kidding. Here, let me close this drawer right here, and let me not dunk this in my coffee because I have my giant saucer of coffee here.
The coffee boat.
But okay, so I bought this hockey jersey. I was like, "Oh, this is sick." I added the Diabolita patch. I'm gonna sew it on in a minute. But when I was examining the jersey before I washed it, and I was like, "Oh, it says CUC. It says cuck. It literally says cuck." And I looked at the brand. You can get these specially made. I don't know what college on earth has the initials cuck. I bought a cuck jersey. But there was a ton of them, so I think someone had them made for a joke, or it could have been a television show. This is the same thrift store where I bought my Hughley's jumpsuit. Like I have a Hughley's coveralls that were from the show. But I bought a jersey that says cuck. I just like the color because it looks like a wannabe Calgary Flames jersey. But I'm not a Flames fan.
You're just never mind.
I walked into that one. Speaking of which,
What'd you walk into this time?
it is amazing how Southern California is a sea of effing rainbows right now. I want to take my glasses off.
Oh,
Let's have a talk.
Welcome to Marketing Month. We're here special.
let's have a talk. My dry cleaners, who I know hate everybody, have giant pride flags in front of their and I know for a fact that where they're from, it's illegal to PK. Oh my word! I was relaxing with a cup of coffee and fell asleep. I woke up with a puddle of coffee in my lap on the couch. I dumped it all over the rug. That's the
Oh.
worst.
I know I don't know how to take coffee out of things, but for blood, it's hydrogen peroxide.
Oh, that's the worst. Also, Kiro had this really good idea of making a Hawaiian shirt out of my flamenco pattern, and
Mm.
I'm thinking I'm gonna do that as well. But I'm not playing. I started on my spans, so I have a question: should I add giant cargo pockets, or should I just leave it like normal pockets?
Just do
Because
normal pockets.
these are gonna be Vegas wear, and I love it when people are like, "What planet are you from, sir?" I love it. Coffee on the couch, free air. So I kicked over my bong and in the carpet and
Ooh,
couldn't wash it out.
that's
So that was
gross.
like, yeah. So it smells like that mayonnaisey bong water smell.
Mm.
But then I bought these. I didn't even think they make these anymore. I went to Walmart because I'm crazy, and these work.
Okay, odor blasters.
It's little crystals, and they literally dissolve as you're but I don't know if they're just making my vacuum smell good or this room. It's the jury is not out yet.
Yeah, I like um well the molecule that they have in the the Febreze, the cyclodextrin rings. They're
Hmm.
fun because they're literally shaped like a donut and can hold stuff in the middle. There are lots exploiting the rainbow flag right now. The worst that I saw was that somebody was trying to include maps in Pride Month, and I'm like, no, there's no proud maps. No, I draw a line at that one.
Let's 100%. I'm not mad at Pride at all. In a way, I am, but not for what you think. It's because back in the day, you could we're in my area, you could just walk on Santa Monica Boulevard and be in Pride. Now you have to
Mm-hmm.
purchase a ticket because the Black Eyed Peas are there, or like it's
Right, it's
become.
all commercial. Right, everything. It's just trying to take money from people, and
It used to be a free show for the gays to be like, "Hey, we're gonna party all weekend," and that's it. And
right.
now it's a month long of pay. It's because okay, I attribute Pride to being a Trekkie. As a Trekkie, I get ripped off
Mm-hmm.
because every time I go to a convention, I spend $1,000 to $2,000. I stopped going for that very reason because I have comic books and action figures and all kinds of things that I really don't need in my life. I I wear my uniform I bought at the swap meet to conventions and then go and spend $1,000. It's crazy. It's just crazy, and that's what Pride's turned into. And this whole thing with the Dodgers, what people don't know is the Dodgers have multiple Pride nights.
Yeah.
Multiple.
Oh, right, because they've got like Korean Pride and this like.
We don't play around here. They have Pride nights for everything. So it's kind of like Coachella, okay? Because I know someone who makes the stuff they burn at Burning Man. And he kind of
Mm-hmm.
put it the best. Where it's not that I dislike these shows, it's just that there's too many people there.
Yeah.
That's in I think it was 2000. I went to Starbucks, I got a coffee, I stood on a street and I saw Paris Hilton and all of the fellow gays. We stood there and we clapped like seals and we went like this, and that was Pride. There was a big concert at the end, and that was it.
Yep. Oh, I'm just waiting for the day I knock over my hookah while I'm smoking it. One of the reasons I smoke my hookah out on the porch where there's nothing to ruin fair. Yes, and I concur with that second sentiment. Also, yep, there's no. I I'm gonna go with Nick Ricada on this. Maps belong on the walls.
Kid fiddlers will never be included in Pride. Not sorry. I hope, man, you don't even want, like, I can't even say on stream what I would do to those people. I
Okay.
do have a lot of Star Trek stuff, but see, but I bought. I do need to put my glasses on.
But I did buy. I do have a lot of Star Trek stuff, but I did buy the insignia button that has the Bluetooth and connects to your phone. That is cute. Okay,
Ooh.
step one. We pulled up the bobbin thread from underneath. Okay, now let's see if we sew. Oh man.
That's why I don't go to most pride things. Too many of those damn exactly. And I don't know. And also I'm from a different generation. Like this this younger generation is lit in all directions.
Oh,
In
in all the
all
wrong
directions.
directions. They're like on fire. It in
And
the whole. Oh my gosh, one of those Target shirts. Like I'm against all of the sides promoting needless violence. So that one that had the pink with the guillotine that was like, this is what we do to homophobes. I'm like, no, I don't care. You can dislike people, but no violence, please.
exactly. Like we literally had to tell the Mormons in my town, like, those kids you're yelling at in Target are your children.
Yeah,
They work. You're sending your kids to go get jobs. They're literally the kids. You're yelling at somebody else's kid. Like, get out of here. They agree with you, but they work at effing Target. Get out of here. Like, they literally have at my Target. Like, please do not yell at the employees. They have nothing to do with the decision of the
right.
marketing team. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Thread behind that race could be what has thrown that off from picking up the loop. I didn't see any schmuck when I cleaned it out earlier, but let's see because it's the upper thread is being long. It's like getting.
Wanna when I was younger, I used to go to the cons. Before Comic Con, Star Trek was the original cons, and they would stick you back then for money. And Comic Con, don't even get me started. Um, I have a Matt Smith rare edition Doctor Who comic book, and I will never say how much money I paid for it ever, ever.
I could have bought a new truck with this,
Ooh,
or
I
at
feel
least
like
the
a
down payment.
dummy. I feel like a dummy because the next year I went again and I got a Peter Capaldi one for free. And same comic book. Well, it's the same concept and everything. And I'm like, why did I get this one for free and pay like a car payment for the other one?
Right.
Cons are that. It's a con. It's somebody with confidence convincing you to relieve yourself of your money.
Yes, we do have thread pickup, but now we're fighting with the upper thread.
Okay, but that's progress.
This is true.
We're almost at Carnegie Hall. Come on, keep practicing. Keep practicing. We're
Oh,
almost.
I'm not going to hold my breath yet.
Waternay, I'm crazy when it comes to Doctor Who. I'm crazy. I just don't talk about it anymore because I don't hang
Okay,
out with the English anymore. But I'm
okay.
crazy. Does it work?
No,
Keep going.
it made one stitch and then it is just falling apart. You can
That's
see my
progress, and
line of puncture. No.
that's okay. That's progress. That means you're in the right direction.
Okay, so eventually it's just gonna like if I just keep turning it, baby, we're gonna.
If you do you know what's so funny? Like when I make my videos, what's not shown is the 6 hours of me sitting here just talking to it, like, why won't you start? What is wrong with you? And then there's that one moment of that one thing I did that finally turns it back on, is really what does it in the first place.
Come on, baby.
I
You
have
wanna?
you two cemented in my skull. It's because I was feeling emotional and I listened to Stuck in a Moment.
Oh, oh, oh.
You've got to get your
Do, do I?
practice is the only way you get to Carnegie Hall.
Oh, oh. I'm not gonna get too excited. Okay, deep breath, kids.
That's actually like of all the t-shirts I own, the one the my most coveted t-shirt is I have a t-shirt that says, "How do you get to Carnegie Hall?" And on
Yeah,
the back it
practice.
says, "Practice, practice, practice, practice." I love that stupid shirt.
It is true. Okay, we had some. Well, we're Okay, well, we're not out of the woods yet, but
Yeah, I guess
I
I
haven't
shouldn't.
broken my thread yet.
So I shouldn't add giant cargos on the spans
No, it's too no, no.
because I like the plain spans look. I like the piratey kind of like long pants. I'm almost gonna start. I think I'm gonna start making as many spans as I have coats. I love spans.
Or you can just give up. Just give Carnegie Hall a bunch of money and you can smash watermelons like Gallagher for $3 back. All right, have fun, Allie. We'll see you in a minute, and hopefully, I had a
Yeah,
couple
we
of
need you, Ollie.
signals.
We
Right,
need
I
you.
know. I was like, oh my gosh, please let my sewing machine dream team fix it team be available.
I cannot explain how much I love Gallagher because my parents had a bunch of VHSs. So growing up, I watched a ton of Gallagher. I love that
Okay,
man.
so note to others, trapeze boots, great. Theoretically, a simple project. We're kind of a nightmare.
I call those machine killers.
Yeah, it was completely. I mean, the bias binding foot when it worked did a really nice job, but just don't try to sew over where you already have binding and like pull and fight. We got into a little tussle on Friday night.
Okay, so if we feel like laughing at sewing, I have something that you guys can laugh at me for.
Have fun with your mama, Waternay. No.
Oh. Oh, what did I crush? Whoops. What? I have to close this drawer so I don't set this on fire. What material is this?
Is that stretch velour?
No, it's not stretch. It's just it's like fuzzy. It's not stretchy.
Maybe it's just velour. Velour is the soft one that's like
I love it.
that color is good too.
I made a purple sweater for anyone who's seen my video. I made this in an hour and a half.
Oh, cute.
But
Oh, that's
these
right. That's the video I saw. I saw it. I've been fighting too much to enjoy nice videos.
I get it. No, trust me. Like I'm telling you, that day that my machines weren't working, I was like, when I change color, when I turn purple, that's my version of red. Like I am like so mad I turned purple because I'm just like, why?
I know.
She just arrived. Oh, have a great night, Waternay. It's great seeing ya. I've kind of fallen in love with this material, but this is what I call machine killers because my capes destroyed my brother VX 809. They destroyed that machine because it was so much fuzz and so
Mm-hmm.
much crud. It couldn't take it after a while.
The trick I saw to sew over a piece of paper underneath the presser foot.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it'll
That's not a bad idea. I need
yeah,
ideas because I kill sewing machines because I sew all the time.
yeah, I think you can also do if it's getting stuck underneath, you can put something underneath over the feed dogs too, or maybe just drop the feed dogs a little
I
bit.
just get this like fur ball that looks like I'm sewing a Muppet or something, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
right. And then you gotta like, all right, I sewed one seam. Now I have to clean the machine out, and then I can sew the next one.
oh, it's crazy. That's why I stopped making like I would make these giant dramatic capes, but every single one, like I'd have to reset the machine every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And for as much as I love, like my grandmother had an Alaskan size king bed, whatever that is. It's two queens put together.
Oh wow, that's
And
the size I need to sleep with another human. You get to your bed, and I've got my bed.
I one day I was like, when I was younger, I remember thinking like, my grandparents' bed was so big, the grandkids can fit in there, and I was like, man, they must not really like each other.
What was that about, a fur ball? We were not, we were like machine mice, sewing machine mice, not fur balls.
I made so many capes out of duvets and so many just crazy projects that it destroyed my brother VX809, and it killed my singer Brilliance. Like it killed a few, and I have another like I would get the like the $80 $90 brother machines, and I would use them until they burnt out.
Yeah, you're being enabled to buy an industrial again.
I think I'm gonna have to, but I unfortunately I would have to buy one from scratch, like a brand new one.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, there's
Jinx on you and Kilroy.
either up in or. Hmm. I might know somebody
Centrical.
who lives in that state if that machine's for sale.
I do go through sewing machines like cigarettes. I do, and I think, but it's the newer machines because the older machines are made just forever. They're like I say, it's like a parrot. They're gonna outlive you, but the newer machines they have a life, a shelf life.
Yeah, and the ones with the computers have even a shorter shelf life. That somebody said they had to update the software on their sewing machine because the tension was off. I was like, no, my no, just no.
That's why I spent all that money on my Husqvarna Viking because it was like last generation with all the power, but not the machines. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
without the computer. Maybe I'm old school. Like when I was a kid, sorry, I read iRobot, and in the book, um, Will Smith's character in the movie is pouring gas in his motorcycle, and I'm so glad they did it in the movie. I will be that guy. While everybody's in their flying car, I'll be going to my storage unit, getting my motorcycle out, and being an old man putting gas in my antiquated motorcycle because I know that technology works.
Mm-hmm.
My Morse sewing machine was a piece of crud until I adjusted the tension, and now that thing works better than most modern sewing machines.
I know. I still can't believe that person is trying to sell that Morse for $200 and doesn't even know if it works. Like, no, you're,
That's Morris from the jump is bootleg. It only is valuable to people like me who collect, but I know the value. Like unless it says Juki on the plate underneath, it's Morris. Morris ripped off any Japanese sewing company that he could. He would put his faceplate on everything. And because we had embargoes and say over Japanese companies, like he got away with it. And now they own us. It's like the exact opposite now.
well, I know, and we got to be careful because what was that going on off at that standoff in the Strait of Taiwan between our warship and China's warship?
I saw that. I saw that. Just watch. Everybody will be recording their lives 24/7 with smart glasses or electronic implants, and I'll be sitting journaling. I still journal.
Yeah,
I still do. I agree with you, Gilroy.
I
I
know
feel like
that.
that all. Oh, sorry.
Oh, just going back through and watching all these Black Mirrors, it's just like prepping us for what's around the corner. It feels like.
Okay, so it's funny you would say that. We've stumbled into. So I live in my own little world. I'm literally scared to join a debate crowd because I don't debate. I think that whole thing is dumb. But anyways, I finally watched a documentary on transhumanism. I watched several pros, cons, and in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna respectfully say no, thank you.
Yeah,
Then I if we're the last version, then this is the plateau. Then we're gonna go out with a whimper.
well, that was like the whole that they had the military did the had the AI pretend to do a mission, and then the AI attacked the human. operator instead, and then they were backpedaling like, no, this was all a thought experiment. I'm like, what?
But where do we draw that line? Because they've there's a human that got pig lungs as a transplant. He's still alive. So
Mm-hmm.
weirdos, Warren Buffett, people like me are like, hey, I could smoke cigarettes forever and then get new lungs. Like where do you draw that line? Because if you have enough money, you can now buy new lungs.
Well, we've
It's
already
still. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to just say that there already is, for a long time, has been the black market for body parts. But now
But
that
now,
we can grow them in a lab, who needs a human?
but
We'll
I can
just
go to Kaiser and if I have Jamie Foxx kind of money, I can go get new lungs.
oh well, that whole Jamie Foxx thing is just sad.
Not to mention having another Carrington event. Transhumanism creeps me out. There's always so many potentials for abuse. Thank you. I don't want someone to hack my brain and I forget the time I got peyote shut up my nose.
Right?
Or
I want to
remember all
remember
the
the
stuff.
good times.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, or I don't wanna when I used to drink, I blacked out a few times. I don't want to know what I did when I blacked out. I'm embarrassed at my own stupidity. I don't want to know.
Oh my gosh.
This is literally a Stargate episode. I think it's either season 9 or 10. Cameron Mitchell. No, it's season 9 when they brought in what's his face from Farscape. But Cameron Mitchell basically gets accused of a crime that he didn't do, and they implanted a memory of him doing it in his head, and he didn't do it. But he confessed to a crime he didn't do because he's like, no, it's in my brain. And they
Oh, this is
eventually
um 1984 plus communist Russia under Stalin and Lenin.
I'm obsessed with Stargate. It was a great episode, but it's like what we're heading towards that.
You're back to it.
I'm scared. I don't know. I want to there's a movie called Mr. Nobody where this man is the last human on earth because everybody's immortal.
Oh yeah.
And he relives his life and he tells stories and it's a great movie. I don't want to give it away. It's a Jared Leto movie. It's actually a really good movie.
Yeah, I think
And
when you were asking me a couple weeks ago about being immortal, if I could just, that would give me a chance to make and sew all the amazing costumes I have no place for right now. So I might take immortality and a sewing machine.
I would want to live like Bible years. Like give me 500, 600. I'll take that. But I don't want to live long enough to see the human. Like right now, I feel like we're in the final season, but we're like right, but like we won't be around,
Yeah.
or we'll
Oh,
be too old to do anything about it,
so I've been watching, what is it, Amazing Interiors on Netflix. And one of the episodes, there was this person who, I don't know, somewhere in the middle of the country, bought old military, not barracks. They were like concrete round things, and he thought that he could have 24 people living in each of these things for like a year in the end of days times. Guess how many bathrooms that they put in?
How many?
No, I want you to guess, and then I'll tell you what.
40.
That would that 40 bathrooms for 24 people. That would work. They put in 2.
People would be shooting each other in the hallway. People.
He did another one to house 80 people, and there was only 4. I was like, you did not consult a woman when you did this. Like, no.
I agree, Gilroy. Doctor Who did an episode about someone who was immortal, and Doctor Who flashed, and that person wanted to murder Doctor Who. He made her immortal, and she was like, "You've literally made my life hell."
Yes, a concrete hanger and 24 people, 2 toilets. Like, no. There should be at least 1 toilet for every. No, 4 people for 4 bathrooms for 80 people.
I don't know how they do it. Isaiah and I literally have our own bathrooms. That's the only reason we get along.
Right, exactly. I,
He hangs out in his bathroom. Like right now, he's probably on his Oculus in the bathroom right effing now. If we had one bathroom, that would drive me mentally insane. But we don't. I walk right past him, go into mine, grab a magazine. I still
I
read in the bathroom too, kids. I don't take my phone in the bathroom.
no, I read my Kindle on my phone. So,
I'll try not
I
to
split
dox
the
myself,
difference.
but I still get Scientific
Yeah.
American like mailed to my house because I'm a
Okay.
geek.
Oh, I keep going back to these because this is the only thing I did this week, even though I got some.
Kilroy got me inspired. I'm making spans, but I have to find the thread, and these are easily made. I forgot. I bought this. I might use this for the inside of my spans
Oh, that's cute.
because I'm just gonna probably end up getting more of this. But this is like expensive 2 yards. This is and every time I see Waverly, it makes me think of the commercial.
Right.
Waverly, you got just what
Like,
I need.
what did I see? Liberty of London has got a sale going on right now.
Really?
You
I'm
know,
trying to do a no buy this month. I'm trying to do a no buy because I failed no month last month. I
right?
failed.
Oh! I don't want to get too excited yet. Okay.
Oh, the band's warming up. The band's warming
Okay.
up. We're tuning
Right.
up. We're not
Right.
playing yet. We're tuning up.
Right.
Everybody who built their stupid bunkers would shoot themselves if they ever actually had to live in them long term. It's basically just for bragging. I agree. Do you know what the problem is? Is these people, they don't think of long term. They don't think like, okay, what about a year? What
Well,
if
they
you're in a
had all
bunker
the
for
preps. They had like toilet paper and tinned foods, like everything. But you can't if there was a nuclear blast, you can't go retrofit when you realize that you're shitting in the hallway because there's not enough toilets.
No, man, you need space. You for that many humans, you would need space.
Yeah, like one toilet for every 4 humans, at least.
That would be like I think about that all the time. Like if I got trapped in the gym in a nuclear, that would be hell after a while. And that has no windows. At least the auditorium that I go into, at least it has windows,
Right.
so I could see the world end.
I want to see all the pretty colors. And they never turn over the food so it goes bad or completely tasteless. Fair. But
I think about that too.
but MRE seemed to never go bad. So just or
So
people were
sorry. I just had
no,
this conversation with my mother because she has earthquake food and all of this stuff. And I had to explain to her, my mom had these giant Campbell soup cans from the 90s. Okay. They eroded, they ate through the metal, they literally melded, turned into tar.
you have to throw that shit out, Mom.
Oh, I did. No, I went in her cabinet. I threw all that shit out. Like we're slowly starting to buy more supplies now. That's why I'm buying flashlights for her and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get her more modern in her earthquake stuff because you have to turn your food over. Is what I'm trying to say. Like you trying to get botulism.
Right.
That's gross. That's just gross. No, have we not seen the movies, man?
So MREs do go bad, and when they go bad, it's basically a hospital bag. Well, you've got your bag for your cuts. I have been in many World War I and II bunkers. They still exist and have lots of room and many bathrooms, not built like preppers bunkers. There. Alibaba, you're and godless.
Yeah, you see. Dun, 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 dun. Now we're playing. Now we're in Carnegie
We
Hall.
are,
Everybody
and I
got their
didn't even
suits
need
on.
to take out the
Dun,
faceplate
dun,
because I'm
dun.
like, I was gonna break a screwdriver. Thank you, folks, for not watching Phoenix cry, and the stitches we're not pretty because the tension's still off, but I finally have stitches again. Oh, praise Chibis.
You got to give the Mexican soccer go. Hey, see,
Thank you,
nothing.
folks.
That's community, damn it. Because I
This
hate
was,
it when people use that word. I hate it when people say that.
but this was. I was just joking the other day that I have the best chat community on all of the info webs. Have you
I'm
not
all about that.
Steve?
Absolutely. Because they know stuff.
They do. That's why I was like, I know I don't need to cry. Everything's gonna be okay. I just need to make it to Sunday and the stream, and hopefully
I'm
my
so happy
saviors
for
will be
you.
here to help me. And you helped me all. And Waternay's not here anymore, but I huge huge hearts. I don't even know what camera to look at. I'll do hearts on all the cameras. You folks are the best. It's a good thing I laid some stuff out to sew that was simple. So we got to this part. Rations from the Boer War. Oh God. Oh, speaking of rations, so I saw. I guess South Africa's like shit in the bed again, and things are really sketchy down there. And they're gonna start water rationing by race, and the white people get the less water right now. But they're on like rolling blackouts. I they're just they're a mess.
I don't know. I actually know people that are African and that live
Uh,
in my town. I don't know. I would move because they're rich. They have money to leave. Not all, because there's a ton of poor Caucasian people in Africa who were born there.
yeah. Can I, Ellie? Which hole do I stick a long brush in? Or
Oh, we're back to the innuendo.
I know we had to come back. I've been told I need to clean the tension out with a long brush. Water.
Zimbabwe's lost their mother loving minds. And you know what's so sad? They're being ran by American evangelicals. I'm going to say some super right wing stuff, and I don't care if anyone judges me. Muammar Gaddafi tried to unite Africa. That's why he was murdered. He launched satellites into space. He was trying to make a currency that would have destroyed every currency on the planet because it would have been based on gold. And Hillary Clinton, everybody talks about Benghazi, but where is Benghazi?
No, well, oh, let's not even talk about this. How many people the Clintons,
They,
people associated with them, are like, oh, this person died by suicide from a bullet to their head that they couldn't have inflicted on themselves.
and people get mad at me because I stick up for Gaddafi because he was a dictator. But like, if you put me in that situation, I'd be a dictator too. But if Gaddafi had got his way, none of these countries, he was trying to modernize Africa and unite it. And look at it now. China and America, we are fighting for dominance in Africa right now. South Africa just got caught sending weapons to Russia, and they can't even feed their own people.
Yeah, it. But
Get
what
out
does
of
Russia
here!
need South African stuff for? That should it was probably going the other way around.
But the problem with the Russians is that they need the weapons and everything because they're having defectors that are going on social media, so they can't even lie. People are like, oh, blah 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 blah, and I'm gonna say I'm not on anyone's side. I just want to say this, and I'm not trying to lose or make friends over this, but like I'm just looking at it as a side of objectivity. Like it's a mess. It's a mess over there right now. You know.
It's been it in the ball. Oh God, yeah. It's mm,
I just watched a video of a Russian commander that was like in Russia, just saying all these horrible things that are going on in Russia. And guess what, guys? That could easily happen to us too. So I'm not even like bad mouthing anyone. I'm just saying it's crazy right now. And they're vying for Africa right now because Africa they still have resources that people want, you know.
they do. Oh, what they were they joking about? Artisanal water.
I just had that damn song stuck in my head now.
Oh gosh.
You've got to. I have that song just concreted in my skull.
Oh, hi. Rasputin, the Russian
Thank you. I
queen.
need another song. Isn't there a shitload of lithium in Africa?
Yeah,
Just absolute butt ton. I like
yeah,
saying shitload and butt ton as actual measurements.
they are. It's along with the crap ton if there's too many little ears around.
And Africa's a gold mine too because they'll take any waste. They'll take nuclear waste. They'll take anything.
Mhm.
And it's not just Africa. In Central and South America, like it's amazing how Exxon is slowly killing the Amazon. I watched a documentary of indigenous
Well, the
people. They got
multinationals are killing everywhere.
exactly. They got on boats and they're like, "You want to see something?" They get. They literally. They were in. They're in the middle of the jungle. They get on boats and they go down, and it opens up to these giant factories on the ocean. That are on the rivers that lead into the ocean. And these companies are coming in.
Mhm.
They're mining wood. They're destroying the Amazon. And you know what's funny? I'm not an environmentalist. I'm a realist. We need those trees to breathe. I'm not even a tree hugger, but like I'm a realist. Like we need that.
Mhm.
Like those are the lungs of the
Yeah,
planet. People, I don't think people understand the symbiotic relationship that we have with Earth. We live here. We're
right. We're
temperate.
guests.
Yes, exactly. There were certain things are in place so that we can exist, like oxygen.
Right. Oh, my heart is like slightly less stressed out, and I don't feel like I want to cry anymore. Thanks, folks. I appreciate all your support and help today. And next time I'm going to skip the bias binding. I think I'm going to sew the lining a little bit inwards and then leave it enough so that I can just roll the vinyl over the next time to make the edge finished.
Oh, you're reminding me. My mom wants me to fix my grandma's old Louis Vuitton purse, but I'm scared to touch it.
That seems reasonable. What do
She
you
she
have to
my mom
fix? Like replace a zipper or something? Because that's like the
there's
scary first part.
there's threads that have popped out, and I think I just might hand sew it. It's older than it's like it's so old. It's old. But my mom, like, she wears it like she's the rich lady, you know.
Well, yep, she's flexing.
I wouldn't wear I man. It's it's so different around here. Like people like to me, people do you think it's weird when people outwardly show wealth?
I'm starting to have mixed things. A little bit, yes, because I don't know. We were well off, but also a sense of like humbleness that I didn't need to like flex.
Same.
But when my friend is like so excited when he drove his uncle's new Lambo, or the other uncle who got his wife a $35,000 watch, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll bring
Holy
my
cow.
like Kenneth Cole red leather handbag over to his house yesterday instead of my like canvas flower bag. Like, I'll put a little. I think for me right now, I don't mind doing it a little bit because it forces me to like dress up and wear my like nice things that I make. Not that I've got like luxury goods. Oh, Ellie says do it by hand, or you can send them in to be fixed. I think they do a free fix if it is still on the books from the point of sale.
Oh,
Huh.
I have to look it up. It's definitely 1960s or 70s, knowing my grandmother. That's when that was the height of their bouginess.
But I wouldn't. I don't. I think I would like to score a luxury good from the Goodwill. Like I wouldn't. I'm not going to go out and like buy
Because
some Cartier diamonds or like
like I know
go
I,
to
I
Tiffany.
I know I talk about my dad too much, but like that man had money and he dressed like he was the Black Willie Nelson. He'd always have
Right.
like denim on. He looked like a hobo, but he had more money than everybody else.
Yeah.
And that
Well,
was
and I
his
think if you
thing. Like,
legitimately have money, well, Well,
he
if you
always
get
thought
to
it
a
was.
certain age and have money, you feel like you don't need to flex. This person I know is like not quite 30 yet, so they're still in that like young phase, but they grew up with like servants. So
I think you're just being a try hard if you flaunt wealth. Wearing a
yeah,
nice suit around, you're cool. Consciously showing off a Louis Vuitton bag, you're compensating. Glasses, glasses.
but yeah,
It's so true.
I'd be afraid to. Yeah,
Here, it's weird to me because like I'll go to the thrift store, okay? Like the other day, like yesterday, I was at the thrift store. You turn the corner and someone's wearing a $900 shirt. I would need bodyguards if I.
yeah,
Rarely take my like when I take my camera places, I have a camera bag. I spend a lot of money on my camera. Like I
yeah,
couldn't imagine. Like I don't know, but I'm the guy who shops at the Goodwill.
right.
I never knew this. Warren Buffett lives in a sensible house and drives an old car. People who want to just look rich buy big houses and extravagant. That always trips
Yeah,
me out. Excuse me. I've
it's
known my sister's ex-husband played for the Raiders. He spent the money he made within he was broke by the time he was 30. He was broke. And he made millions
yeah,
and millions and he was broke by the time he was 30 because all he had to show was a house and a nice car and in the end he didn't even own the house.
right. I can wear a suit all the time and not need a bodyguard if you're right.
It's different. It's different in different places. Like
This
where
is
I live,
true.
there's a ton of money here. And people would just be like, "Hey, nice suit." If you walked around Hollywood and turned on the wrong street, you only get robbed by a 17-year-old.
Yeah. Well, there's such. I mean, it sounds like here's a lot like there. There's like multi-million-dollar houses, and then there was that person who was doing crack in their car that I walked by a couple weeks ago.
That's so
So,
my town too. That is, or like, oh man, oh, that's my town. Worst was Hollywood. Like I worked at a sandwich shop called Togo's, and it was on Ventura Boulevard, and all the big studios are over there. Like North Hollywood, there are so many studios that they literally had to create North Hollywood because all the
mhm.
studios bled over into North Hollywood. And it was not rare. I would on my smoke breaks, I'd be on the side of the building. You would see someone in a Bentley smoking a crack pipe all the time. Oh, and it wasn't the same person. Like LA is a different effing planet sometimes. And I used to
Yeah.
always be like, and I know the cops are around, they'd never pull those guys over. But I get pulled over in
No.
my crappy VW bug that I had, you know.
Yeah.
I had a rabbit. I missed that car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But thinking of cars, how much things have changed. Like back in the day, we barely had um, safety seats when we were little kids, and now like kids are in a
NASCAR.
some type of a seat until they're like 13. Because here we go. I don't recommend. Here I've seen the guidelines be 4 feet 11 inches and 65 pounds, which for some kids you're like 13.
Same here. It's the same. You have to be huge to get out of a car seat here in California.
Yeah,
And car seats now are like NASCAR seats. You are
yeah. The 5 point
completely strapped
harnesses. Yeah,
in. You have a cage. They like it's like a cage around the kid.
yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but
No,
we
no,
had
I don't
plastic
disagree.
straps.
It's just funny because we were like,
We had plastic, and you know what? Our generation was the first to actually have like where they were like, "Hey, kids should be in. This is looking bad." Like where they
yep.
really got the technology. You know?
Hmm.
Did anyone ever smoke in cars with you?
No, but my family adamantly does not smoke, so we don't do those things.
Go ahead and try putting someone in a rumble seat of a Ford Model A. I had I dated a woman from Norway. She was the toughest human I knew, but she was a wuss in a lot of ways. And my truck made her sick. I in my F-150, it has a souped up engine, so it goes a little bit faster. And she'd always
Okay.
tell me this is a classic vehicle, and like I took her womping, and she's like, pull over, and she ralphed. She couldn't handle it. She could not handle it.
Yeah, I get car sick too. That's when I enjoy my friend, but I was like, all right, I'm sitting in the front seat of the Benz because I'm not, well, I'm a bitch, and there was two chaps and me, and I was like, I'm not sitting in the back seat. I'm sitting shotgun.
The police didn't
Yeah,
even
the
know
police don't
they were.
even know they were. I think they insist they were a mod.
My dad was a bit of a psycho when he got behind the wheels, so it scared me as a child. So I'm desensitized as people who drive crazy. I'm like completely desensitized because I there was a couple times where I thought I was going to meet my maker because my dad was he took risks.
Yeah, no.
Oh, but today I say this all the time. By today's standards, my parents had been in prison. By today's standards, it was different times. It was different times.
Yes, there are a lot of things that we used to be able to get away with. But funny, people used to be able to just like take a joke too. People are
I
so sensitive about everything.
It's because we had more interaction with each other and we were local. Like everything you were talking about, you would be talking to somebody face to face with that. It wouldn't be like you're
Yeah,
a what like a 14-hour drive from where I am. You know what I'm well, I've made
yeah,
it actually no, actually I know where you are. I've made it there in 10, just speeding the entire time.
right. You bypass, you time it so you miss rush hour traffic in Oakland and San Francisco, and
Exactly.
then there's no other big cities in between.
Night driving too. Night driving because
Yeah.
when you see like I drove the first time I drove over the Siskiyous. I didn't realize how big the drops were until I was coming home
Oh
in my
yeah.
truck, and I was like, oh, "Good thing I drove. I
Yeah.
drove
Don't look
here."
over the side. Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, "That is three. That's 1,000 feet down there. Like I am high
Yeah.
up here."
There's they close the road in the winter sometimes. People get bigger cars, which means they feel safer, which means they drive shittier, which means they get in accidents, which means they feel unsafe in small cars, which means they buy bigger cars. True. I am a country ridge runner. I ride on top of a track. I ride on top of tractor ruts that if you go in them, you stop being eye centered.
That's
Oh god.
awesome. The only reason they don't put that stuff on videos because I know no one cares. And FICA, like there's a bunch of stuff at my job I can't show.
Yeah.
It's legal. There's like laws that protect people from people like me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I'm old school. Like I am one of those people who are like, oh, I have nothing to hide. But if somebody does, like, I'm not gonna judge you. Like if you don't want me to film you, you have the right to tell me to F off.
Yeah. Well, that's like these new tiny, like, watch battery size little cameras I'm seeing floating around the Twitters. I'm like, that just sounds like a recipe for disaster in like two-party consent states when you can just like slip it in anywhere.
Because I'm the son of an electrical engineer, I have a ton of tiny lapel cameras. I have a pen camera, like all kinds of crazy stuff. The technology even 10 years ago was crazy.
Yeah.
Have you you should are you eating? You should eat some more. Look at
Oh,
the
hey,
monitor.
Han.
You see when you walk in, I put it's the old Panasonic that's useless now. I can't let that thing die. It's over here. The camera's right there. I have a camera that I refuse to let die. Like me and my antiquated technology, I'm gonna be buried like a pharaoh. It's gonna be me and all my stuff.
I'm gonna. I'm, yay! I can sew, so I'm working on a cute little summer skirt. It's gonna be.
Yay!
Oh, it's so good to be able to sew again. I had a meltdown from since Friday until like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, I'm telling you, like, okay, like perfect example. Sunday nights, because this is like my Friday night, okay? Later, when everything gets quiet, I'm gonna start sewing. I have a show that's on every Sunday at midnight. I wouldn't know what to do with myself if I wasn't sewing and watching that show at midnight.
Mhm.
It's on YouTube every Sunday. I don't know how they keep going, but I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I'll never understand filming people in public. When I take pictures of anything in public, I go out of my way to make sure there's no people in the frame to respect their privacy. Fair, I know, especially
Big time.
like the YouTubers and the TikTokers, because they're using it, and if they're big enough and making money, they really need to be have um consent forms for people who to sign so that they can opt out.
Honestly, I don't know
I,
how they get away with it because everyone knows I got into it with my neighbor and he doxed me and he was held liable for showing my address and sharing it online.
mhm.
He was literally held liable. It's illegal to record people without their consent, regardless, even if you're like, because there's this new idiotic argument where people say, oh, you're in public. You still have the right to be a private citizen.
Yep.
I don't know. I can't even stress this enough. Like, it bothers me. And that's in all states. And I know
Well, not
California's state
everybody's
law.
California is a two-party consent state. So some are one party, which is where it gets funny
It
because
just
only
trips
one
me out.
person
Like,
gets to know.
I learned a lot from my neighbor and I suing each other. You still have the right to tell people you cannot film me. You still have the
Mhm.
right to tell people that, but in today's world where everyone has a camera, it's all gray. Nobody knows,
Right.
so we just accept it, like I think it's wrong to record people without their permission. But again, I have spent a lifetime of working around people with special needs. So I think from the protective brain of like, no, we have to protect the people that can't say no.
Yeah. And also, just get your freaking phones and cameras out of stores where people are shopping. Like, you're a nuisance.
I I don't know how I'd react. I have yet to see anyone besides that Jason Derulo guy. And you know
Mhm.
what? I didn't see him anywhere except for the register. But I think it's
Mhm.
BS. The one thing I think it's BS though is that we all had to wait in line and they opened up a line for him.
Oh, rich people.
So I was
Rich
kind of like,
people.
I was kind of like, F you, bro. Like, I park far away because I need the cardio. I take the stairs sometimes because I take the cardio. I accept the fact that I live in a society of people, you
Yeah.
know? Like, stand in line, bro, with your
Right.
tennis ball green hair.
I know. If you you could have just like ordered it online or sent your handler to go into the store. Like, you don't need to create a fuss.
I have known people that were semi-famous and I knew someone that was Oregon famous, and people would always walk up to her and be like, "Oh, I love your band," and she was almost embarrassed about it,
Mm-hmm.
and she
Right?
was
Because
just like, "Oh, sorry."
people just want it to like be normal humans sometimes.
Totally. And in LA, like, okay, perfect example. Where I live, there's lots of famous people. I don't react. I don't react. I don't because
Right.
they have the right to live their life like anyone else. And quite honestly, I'm in my own little world, and like I leave people alone. I leave people alone.
Yeah, because I like to be left alone too. I just come and hang out with you folks on the info webs, but I'm in my own house, and you're all in your own houses or wherever, so it's all good.
I have a neighbor who's a commercial actor, and I didn't ask him what he did for a living until I knew him for about 4 years.
Uh huh.
And I knew what he did for a living because I still see
Right.
him on TV. But it weirds me out. Like he makes enough money to live around here, but like you would think people that are in commercials would make more money. But they don't.
Yeah.
I guess
Oh,
it's
that's
it,
right. Are the Writers Guild still on strike? Do
yep.
they have enough thing? scripts written for the soap operas? Like, is there going to be a day in the next couple of weeks where like the soaps just stop filming because they have no scripts left?
Yes. What's going to happen is the same thing that happened last time. Reality television is going to take over. They're
Okay,
just,
so we're
they're
already
just
on the forefront. We're going to watch live streamers like us.
the last strike is what brought the reality TV crap debacle of what we think of today. The last strike is what
Mm-hmm.
brought us here,
Yeah.
because they were like, oh, okay, you're going on strike. We're gonna bring every weirdo and Yahoo. Like, um, oh man, that's when I watched that show about hillbilly hand fishing and I learned about noodling. That's when
Oh,
Pawn
right.
Stars got famous. The
Yes.
Count got his own show. All of these people all of a sudden got their own shows because you don't need writers for who remembers Rick's Restorations? I loved that stupid show. I dressed like Rick Dale. Let's be real. I wear denim cut off every day. Like, let's be real. I absolutely love that man. That reality television explosion was weird, but I loved it. The Moonshiners, come on. I
Yeah.
loved Moonshiners. Amish Mafia, like all those shows were born out of the last strike.
Yes. Why, speaking of reality TV shows, what is up with the BBC being so copyright crazy about the Great British Sewing Bee that the people can watch it pick out the fabrics but cannot show a single picture of it? And I signed up for the BBC player, but I'm not paying for a TV license in a country I don't live in so I can watch the Sewing Bee.
Here's the problem when because we used to not have these problems when you can just get a VPN and steal
Right.
it.
My VPN does not help me with the BBC.
Once Netflix came, Kilroy, I'm like halfway there with you. Reality TV, okay, because I grew up like semi-Hispanic, I love chisme, and chisme is just gossip in English, and reality TV show is just nothing but people airing their dirty laundry like idiots. And
Like,
BBC,
yeah, litigious like Metallica. I know, but we
they
had
don't.
the original reality TV show on MTV.
The original. Do you know what's so funny? Was never really into Metallica. They have some bangers. It was never my thing. It was more my brother's thing. I think they're obnoxious, and I love that comparison. Kilroy, I love that comparison. Oh, and by the way, I spent 45 minutes reading about the origin of Kilroy was here. I will be writing Godless Sewing was here on everything from now on. If you see it in your city, I'm starting my tagging career over again.
Okay, with a mnemonic updated for everyone's pleasure.
I could go off about the BBC because once they figured out they could make money off their shows, they privatized everything. I would religiously watch Absolutely Fabulous
Oh,
and
yes, Ab
Doctor
Fab.
Who. Like
Yeah.
I love freaking Absolute Fabulous, especially the older episodes when it shows them aging and they like start telling like, oh my gosh, I wear a patch that says pram face because when her daughter got pregnant, she's like, you're gonna be a squalid little pram face. Like, it is the greatest scene. It is one of the greatest scenes in television history because she just goes off. And she's like, you're gonna be a single mother. And then when she finds out that the baby's half black, her friend looks at her and she's like, don't do it. She's like, the baby's black? The baby's black. She starts cheering and she's like, I'm gonna be so popular. And she starts running around. Like, I miss that show. I miss that show so much. And in the movie, she has her granddaughter there, and her granddaughter's all grown and like, oh, I miss the BBC, man. I miss all their shows.
I remember when there were all kinds of BBC shows on PBS. I know
Yep.
there's nothing, and you have to pay extra. That is so stupid. That's like Hulu's new thing, like with Disney Plus. You can pay $3 a month to get Disney Plus, but they have commercials with it. I'm like, no, and I don't know. There's nothing Disney Plus has to offer for me. Maybe it's just being a jaded human who doesn't have small humans who live in my house that I'm just like Star Wars isn't enough of a draw for me right now to.
But now Mickey owns everything.
It'll be interesting to see how this whole Disney, Reedy Creek, DeSantis shenanigans plays out through the courts, because there's some interesting chicanery that Disney tried to do.
But okay, this is the same plight that I had with Exxon and the northern slope of Alaska. When I was a kid, I worked for the Surfriders Foundation, and then I discovered that Exxon had more money than the Pope. They had more money than the Sultan of Brunei. You know what I'm saying? And so, no matter how much we would go beg for money to save people that I never met, they had lawyers and billions of dollars. You
Yeah,
know, man, I miss being that idealistic.
right. Streaming like the way of cable TV, hence why I pirate. Yeah, I see a lot about that these days, but I still can't pirate the only. There's only one. I just want to watch the Great British Sewing Bee. I just I can't.
If it makes you
BBC's
feel any
cock
better,
blocking.
I've been blocked from all my Canadian shows and a lot of my
Oh,
British shows. But it is what it
yeah.
is. Like I own over 600 VHSs. I own nothing but classic Doctor Who. I own a ton. Like man, this is 2020 all over again. You lock me in the house and watch me entertain myself. I don't need you.
I've got some thread and a
I'm
stitch
ready.
ripper. I don't need anything else.
I
I'll
have
Uber Eats if I need food.
I've been ordering thread for 5 years.
I've got like at least 5 of these giant. Oh, as I'm like touching stuff you can't see, I have like at least 5 giant cones this size. So I could just sew in gray thread for like everything for the next year. Maybe that'll be my
It's
next challenge.
so funny you say that. I'm addicted to these, and I have a black
Okay.
one that lasted me just hand sewing. I used it exclusively for hand sewing. This was furniture thread. It lasted me almost 5 years. Just one of these
Oh
hand
wow.
sewing. On all these coats is all upholstery thread.
Yep.
Well, on something like, especially if you're going fast, like on a bike or a horse or a tractor, and you're wearing a vest, you want your patches to stay.
I know. I'm sorry you got blocked from Canadian content. They placed laws here thinking I needed it when I didn't. I know. That's what I was gonna say about the because what C11 and C18. So now what C18 was, you can't, the CBC wants people to pay them for posting links of their news.
They won't like. I think I have to get rid of my VPN and all that because every time I try to watch it, it'll black out. But when I tried to watch, I watched a couple episodes of So Fierce. But when I got to the third episode, it was like you can no longer do this, and that's when I was like,
Weird.
okay, okay. Well, like honestly, if it's beyond me, I'm gonna grab an Isaac Asimov book and move on with my life. Like I was really late to the cell phone game. I held out. I had a flip phone all the way up until I got my iPhone 4. When I got my iPhone 4, they already were out on 7 and 8s. And then the only reason I got my other phones was because of my job. They were like, you have to be modern, you geek. You have to.
I miss my Palm Pilot with the keyboard on it. Oh God.
I held out. Like I could live without any of this. That's why every time the power goes out, Isaiah freaks out. I'm like, bro, we used to live
Have
like
I
this.
not taught you anything?
Like, bro, like, what do you think people did pre-internet, bro? Like, we hung out, like, especially in this
Yeah,
house. Like, I have a fire pit. I have a chinamia. I can't say it because my nose is clogged.
Chimanita.
Yeah, I have like all kinds of fun stuff, man. The power goes out, and we could
With
do some
toast
campfire.
marshmallows and so.
Exactly.
I'm gonna practice my treadling today. Canada clearly hasn't learned from the bread and circuses lesson that Rome taught us. No, Canada's. I think we already talked about that. They want what they want to do for poor people. The maids are going to clean up the poor people, and that acronym is just horrible.
And the funny thing is, now that I think about it, they let me keep TSN because I pay for it. So, because I have
Uh-huh.
the hockey channel and TSN, which is the Canadian ESPN, but like you can't watch it in America. But because I pay more money for it, I can watch it because I have the channel still.
Hmm.
I watch most of the highlights on that rather than the NHL channel anymore. Well, they got rid of
Yeah.
Coach, but like I don't know. It's so confusing with what's going on. Tell you the honest truth.
No. Allie was analog till the day they stopped offering it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
damn right. I held out. I held out for as long as I could. Like I seem super digital now, but I was like I held out as long as I could.
Ooh, I have a Blu-ray has
Damn right.
literally 100 pounds of books, hundreds of pounds of books, and a TV that will never be connected to a cable box or a TV antenna. Fair.
And that's another thing. Like I have a Nintendo 64, a Sega. Like I exist without the internet too. Because there are times I feel overwhelmed sometimes because I'm always watching YouTube and I turn it off.
Yeah.
You got to turn off the Borg drone sound every once in a while. You got to turn it off. You know.
Yeah. That's why. Yeah. I try to take. Well, I still watch Netflix and YouTube, but on Saturdays I try not to turn my computer on because I don't have. That's where my mind crack these days is Twitter.
Same Twitter. I need to start posting because like I just Twitter has gone down. What do you think about? You know, I want to go to the can real quick, but I have to say
Okay.
this: Twitter has gone downhill, and I haven't posted in a while. I've amassed 3,000 something followers, so I need to stop slacking. But
Yeah.
like, I'm over it. And Twitter, every time I go on there, I see something that makes me depressed.
Yeah. You might have to change who you engage with because if you click and watch too many of the same things, the algorithm thinks that you like it and it feeds you more of it.
I
But
want
you
like
ponder that while you don't see yellow.
I'm just over watching. Like at first, it was cool watching fist fights, but now I'm over it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can only see so many in a day. But oh, I'm so glad. Thank you so much for. I'm gonna have like tears of joy that Brunhilde's working again. I seriously was like, I'm gonna have a meltdown. You missed me trying to like unscrew screws that like don't want to come unscrewed. I'm glad that it was unneeded. This shirt, I cut this out wrong, but we're just gonna go with it. Where's my sleeves? There's a sleeve. There's a sleeve. I was trying to cut. I watched what is it, Cabin Craft, and they had like a 18th century short dress that's like a tunic, but I cut it wrong. So we've got like this little cute little. No, there's mine. This little V taper with sleeves. So I think I'm just gonna. Actually, before I do the sleeves, I should probably do the roll time on the necklines. I didn't help on Hilda. Yes, you did. You helped me so. Your words of encouragement and knowledge got me through that because I was have been a hot mess since Friday. Of like, I don't know how to fix my sewing machine, and that was way more straightforward than I thought because I was afraid I was going to have to like get into the needle bar and the presser bar stuff, and I was like, oh, fudge. I don't know if I can do this. You helped more than you understand than you know, and I am so grateful and thankful.
Miracles happened today, and I'm a non-miracle believing kind of guy, but it happened right in front of our face.
I I'd say so.
Whenever I get something going, I'm like, oh, I just parted the Red Sea. I literally just parted the Red Sea. So, what do you think is
I know it
the
was a good day
line?
at the circus.
What do you think there's a line between over inundation? Okay, so I watch RuPaul's Drag Race. Okay, it used to be just one show. Now they have Canada, Australia, Iceland, now Mexico. They have all these shows. Okay, I watched the Canada one because there's this character named Jimbo who is he calls himself a clown. He just makes the most magnificent costumes. These people know how to sew, and I watch it more from that
Yeah.
aspect. Okay, so now It's on all year long, and they have another show called Queen of the Universe, which I watched last year. It's on Paramount Plus. I watched
Mm.
about 15 minutes of it, and I was like, I don't think I have the emotional space for this.
Well, yeah,
Where
I think they're doing too much because they did the same thing with Nailed It on Netflix. So it's this baking competition of these like horrible amateur bakers. With I'm gonna forget the French baker pastry chef's name, of course, but they have to like make these fancy high end like baked things. And now they've got there's like the original America. Now there's Spain, there's Mexico,
mm-hmm.
there's France, there's German or whatever. It's like there's no unique ideas anymore. Oh, white is tough, not much throws them off. Heavy leather can do it. But I didn't see you trying to sew a car seat or RV cushion on it. No, it was the vinyl and the bias binding on the vinyl and cotton that we did too
Do you know
much.
what's really funny? Like Alibaba, I'm 50-50 on black exploitation films. Like I am obsessed with Dolomite and Shaft. And like I love that era, but it is the most like by today's standards, it's racist. Especially like in one of my recent Rumble videos, I put a couple clips of Dolomite in there. They're saying MF for this or that, and it's all stereotypes, but I put it in more for the clothes they're wearing.
Right. I know. Oh,
Whereas I don't know, but
yeah.
I love those old like. But again, if I go like in other circles, they'd be like, "Oh, that's the most racist thing on planet Earth." I grew up watching Shaft. I wanted to dress like Shaft, you know.
Those big lapel collars.
Oh, I had the chops and everything.
Oh, that's so funny. I'm honestly surprised that Drag Race is still on the air. How many drag queens and fights between drag queens can you take before it's completely repetitive?
I
We've
think
got
that's
another.
another thing. They're they're exploiting their gayness too because it seems like it just gets gayer and gayer every year, and it's no
Right, it's
longer
like they.
about
Well,
the art form.
right. Well, I think that's kind of what's got us like to pride the where it is too. Everybody's got to like one up each other and be like, I'm more this and more that, and then these like zennials who are just getting more angry of like, if you don't respect me, I'm gonna like be violent towards you now, and it's like that's not helping your cause. Respect is earned and not demanded.
And I think it's as someone who sews because one of the reasons I still watch is because there's a couple of people I follow who are on the show now who actual are sewists who have
Mm-hmm.
their own line of clothes that they make. So when they come up with these costumes, I'm like, holy cow, they made this by hand on a singer in the workroom,
I'm that great crappy singer that wants you.
They can sew. Like they can sew for real. Um, I don't know. I don't know. But my whole thing is where's that line between exploitation and like I I don't have the emotional space. And I waffle back and forth between Trixie Mattel, but I respect people who come from nothing and become rich. So I like the underdog story, you know?
But Trixie Brian also like can sing and has real like it's not just like
Yeah.
dancing overtly sexually and lip syncing. Like they actually have skill. If you want to do violence on people who disagree with you, you need some anger management. Yes. And if you talk about doing violence casually, you need therapy. I also agree. Agree times two.
I agree as well. I don't know. There's just there's too many shows. Just too many shows. Like
Yeah.
one of the biggest turnoffs for sports with me is all the crap behind it. All these channels and everything. I just want to watch the game.
Right.
I don't care what your opinion is. I want to see my team play, and that's it. It's not even that complicated.
Yeah. Well, that's this morning I was watching the Toronto Pro bodybuilding show because somebody was streaming their pay per view and I happened to watch it. I won't mention the channel that I was watching so they don't get in trouble, but it was a
Oh, it's
new to me
okay.
channel.
Canada is done with me, so go. Feel free to rip off their stuff.
Not all of Canada. Alley's in Canada. I can't
I
hit on
know.
all of Canada. The Canadian side of the Niagara Falls way better than the American side. I've been to both, but where was I going? Oh, it's so funny on like the bodybuilding stuff. How the ads for the sponsors are so big, and um the focus on the live feed was so blurry. They were like, we can't even see what how these people's physiques are because the lighting looks like crap. Or not the lighting. Well, the lighting too was kind of funny, but the yeah.
I watched a grainy Beyonce concert, but her screen is entrancing. She has a 4-story screen. Like her concert stage is unreal.
Yeah. I've said for years that if NFL offered a channel where it's just a raw camera feed with a basic announcer, no fancy graphics, music, or interviews, it would make a billions of dollars. Yeah, why does it? I think things we need to make things simple again.
When I moved to Arizona, that was the first time in my life I could afford to go to sports games all the time because it was so much cheaper than in
Mhm.
LA. And it's a different experience when you're at the football game. It's different in Arizona because it literally is baking your brain if you're not wearing a hat.
Yeah,
So you're like on a sunny day, you're like, oh, this is awful. But they have a dome now. But it's so different when you're there. Like I love baseball. Um, Whenever I watch sports, I turn the volume off. At this point, since all the announcers I grew up with are dead, like or retired, I don't even. That shirt looks great. I don't even listen to the announcers.
yeah. I think I have enough of. I already made a half circle skirt, and I've got a top. I think I have just enough to make a pair of those wrap trousers that don't have any side seams. Just the it's just two pieces, and you tie it at the waist.
Oh,
But I'm
awesome.
scared to cut them, even though I'm like, I got this fabric at the Goodwill. It's not like precious. Just try to cut it, and then ruin it if you do. It's fine.
I have that same issue because you only have one of it.
I know, and I've already made three other garments out of it. Like it's
I
not.
do, I do that all the time. I'm scared. There's a couple things I'm scared to cut.
I need a slight intervention. Or as suggestions. I want. I'm considering, highly considering, a bolt of 100% pure linen. I saw one place that was selling 40 meters, but it was like $900.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a big like hard pass on that. And the other one was like 12 meters for 100. Oh, I don't
okay,
know.
okay. So as someone who is completely addicted to buying fabric, the $100 deal sounds better.
Yeah,
Don't waste 900. Imagine what you could do with that 900 bucks.
I
For
know.
as much as I seem crazy and for as much money as I spend, I always err on the side of a deal.
Yeah, I could I could do another cycle skirt or
And
pants.
Kilroy, in the early 2000s, I used to go watch hockey games for $5-10. When the Kings started winning, I could not afford to even walk in the stadium until I got a real job. It was ridiculous. When they sucked, no one was there.
Yeah. Well, you'd get, let's see here. Killeray would get stage fright working with linen. I'm terrified to screw it up. That's why I was going to get a whole bolt because I spent way too much on 100% linen towels that I could have basically bought the one cheaper bolt of fabric for
That's
what
what
I
I'm
spent.
saying. That's what
And I
I'm
love
saying.
the feel of it so much that I just want a whole bunch of linen underclothes and more linen towels because I'm hooked on linen.
I know that I don't look like it, but I'm really good at math. So I start counting like, okay, no, the math ain't math, and I can't believe I just said that out loud.
Yep, you did.
The
What's the
math
time?
ain't mouthin'.
Like
I say that all the
two
time.
hours and 19 seconds. 2 hours and 19 minutes. Where's my
I I try not to say it on stream, but I stole it from an individual who I actually don't even like. But the math ain't mathin'.
I've never heard of that high of a price for linen. Yeah, I don't know what a good price is, so I'm also consulting for where I can get a reasonable bolt. I think I want more than just a few yards or meters because it can be plain. I'll dye it myself. I just want a good stock of it.
Oh, you're making me want to go downtown so bad, but I need to bring like my biker friends with me. But I'm embarrassed to tell them that I want to go
You're
shopping for
going shopping,
fabric.
right?
But bikers are really good for one thing. If you're like, come ride with me, stand here, they'll do it. If you're
Right.
like, stand here and just watch the bikes, because downtown LA is no joke right now. It is no joke, and I would not go down there unless I had like 15 of my
Oh,
friends.
there's nothing wrong, Kilroy, with sticking to basic bitch cotton. There is absolutely nothing wrong with.
Let me get my high horse and my soapbox. Um, I'm actually making something out of cotton right now, Kilroy, that you suggested.
Right? I just, I think my thing with cotton, well, it's synthetic stuff, and cotton's not synthetic, but I like the way the linen wicks moisture better from my skin. But I know I'm funny. Not that this is completely like polyester. I should pin inside these shoulder sleeves. Wow, my words. Fixing Brunhilde like broke my brain today. They're a right side or a wrong side? Yeah, there is sort of. Oh, let's see here. Godless from Allie. The ones that you know would know by shopping. You mean for fabric or sewing machines? Oh, that's funny. I am a basic bitch though, not putting cotton down by any means. There's no putting anybody down around here. We are all
There you go. You
cordial and
are
respectful.
your Phoenix's 55th subscriber, and you can never unsubscribe because I'm in charge of all of the entire account.
Thank you. I don't know, but my channel's not rated safe for children.
He changed because I check all of his stats.
Yeah.
He just put all of my stats.
Oh,
So his computer thinks that he's my age.
ouch. That
Because
is
he knows all of my he knows all my information.
right. Yeah.
which which is well, I always thought about that. Like, oh, they talk about kids doing this or that. They can literally just type in a different age.
Yes.
Literally. Over and over.
Well, that's. Oh, what did I see that was funny today? That some school district in Utah wanted to ban the Bible for being violent and lewd or something. I was like,
Oh,
Utah, don't you have a whole bunch of Mormons there?
no, okay. So what happened is that they had a law that banned books that talked about murder, rape, and all of these things.
Okay.
And
Oh, yep.
so it happened a couple of years ago. And so it's on the books now. And somebody was like, excuse me. Excuse me. The Bible is the most rapey, murderous book on earth. And it got banned. And that's what's happening right now. And they did it to themselves with their own law.
Yeah, that's
So
funny. That's real funny.
hold on really quick.
Oh, it's so good to be able to sew again. Not that I don't have like other sewing machines. I'm just in love with this one so much. They did more than want to ban it. They actually did ban it. I know, and now they're trying to ban the Book of Mormon too. Oh, that's gonna go over like a blood-filled Hindenburg.
Please excuse Isaiah the Knight. He's in a phase right now. He
Okay.
is Michael P. Keaton. He watches a lot of Matt Walsh.
Yeah,
Please
it
excuse
happens.
my son. He's in a phase. he'll be something else 6 months from now.
It's all right. We are all human and have the right to learn and evolve uh, with new experiences.
But the whole like Matt Walsh walking up to people like, "What is a woman?" You would get jumped here if you did that to people. Like no one cares. Like just live your life in peace. They do more than want to ban it. They actually did ban it, and now they're trying to ban the Book of Mormon too. That's what I'm saying. I died when I heard that the other day. I was like, "Well, you get what you vote for," you know. Utah was because they were trying to do like what Florida did, where they're banning, where they're like, okay, these books are offensive and this and this and this. Well, be careful because your book is the most hurtful of them all. You know.
Yeah, uh, it's so funny how everybody's wants to like ban speech when it's speech they don't like, but that's not why. At least in this country, we have the First Amendment. It's to protect the ones that we hate
Ex-
the most, and not the ones we like.
exactly.
It
That's
is
old
free
school.
on Twitter finally, after Twitter tried to. Um, no, it was Ella Irwin and the trust and safety, and Elon was like, "Hold my beer, bitch." I'd call the cops and tell them some guy escaped from the psych ward if I saw some guy going around asking what is a woman. I
The
think just
problem.
people with big cameras following anybody around is weird. I'm interrupted. I
No,
apologize.
no, it's okay. The problem is exactly what you said. Exactly. Like no matter who you are, what you are, if you're following me around, I'm gonna get creeped out.
Yeah, right. This
That's
is we
why
talked about this earlier. This is like back to the beginning.
the whole like walk even like okay, I don't walk around with a microphone in public because people get freaked out around here.
But yeah,
They'll tell you I do not want to end up on your YouTube channel. Leave me alone. Like especially where I live. Except for there was this one guy who was filming a rap video with 5 phones and a camera on what we call 4 corners here. And you know what? I give that kid props because I've seen it online. I give that kid props. I do. I do. He's a white guy rapping, but he's gone kind of viral, so I give him respect.
yeah. Oh, I didn't bring enough stuff over to sew because I didn't know how long my was going to be in the workshop.
Bruh, if you make me get up one more time, you are 4 feet away from me.
I know
Five
we
and a
can only
half.
put it on our
You
banned
are
words list.
through a door.
The comments like, bro, are going to be banned because I'm in charge of my show.
But that's how I speak to people. Like, depending on how I feel, my bruh
Yeah,
is like, what's going on here? Or bruh is like, what's wrong with you?
right.
There's varying degrees to bruh. You're just playing Russian roulette in the long way. If you're filming people, thank you.
Matter of time before you come across a guy with a pistol who's not having. Well, that happened a couple weeks ago in Tennessee. That one YouTuber who, oh, the prank channel, and that Mitzi guy. I'm tried, not tried, took a hat. Must have been off an Orthodox Jew because one of the Jews actually wear hats and like was wearing took his hat and was wearing it. Yeah,
How is
that,
he not in jail? Especially in the UK, because they have thought crime now in the UK, because you're not allowed to talk bad about the government. So, in a place
yeah.
in the UK where they have now thought crime, this kid should be placed. See, but that's the problem with society because the more scared we get, the more we want to, like,
We want to rebel against it, and it's the thought crime. That's a whole other issue of like stuff we probably shouldn't have in the first place. Like you can't
also,
be.
people aren't watching their kids, though.
No, they're not. Well, and he's basically an adult. He's like 18 or whatever. Like he's
You know, my parents were weirdly strict and they had the as long as, see, but it's different. But I moved out when I was 17 and went to college.
right.
It's
The
so
under it's
different.
the Vermont house law.
It's so because my parents were so strict, I moved out. And then the second I turned 18 and got freedom, I like absconded. Like literally absconded. But being
I
an
know.
Orthodox Jew's hat off is
We don't
ultra.
touch a Jew hat.
Even here, no one would do that. No, we leave each other alone. We leave each other alone. Even here, no one would do that here. That's why I'm just like, what are you talking about?
I know it. Yeah, we've lost politeness, decorum, and funny.
Okay, but where's that line between sensitivity and like this goes back to that community that I'm scared to jump into. The guy will constantly say, I'm sensitive, but I think he uses that as a justification to like stand on a high horse.
Yeah, see, no, that's like leading with your privileged titles.
I don't get it. That's what I'm saying. Or like ignorance isn't an argument. Saying I don't know isn't an argument. Find someone who does, and then we can have a discussion. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, right, because there's like on willful, like taxes might be. I'm sure there's better examples, but intentionally not knowing something that is clearly spelled out, not that taxes are clearly spelled out, is still a you problem and not a them problem.
I agree.
Like you can look stuff up or consult an expert or
Oh, okay. Just really quickly, um, I want this live on YouTube because my numbers go up and down so much. I've reached 420 subscribers.
right because it's 6 o'clock now.
I'm just gonna stand on that because my subscriber count goes up and down so much. So I'll probably lose one tomorrow when I live stream and they figure out who I am for real.
In the paraphrase words of Macho Man Randy Savage, lots of people just want to grandstand and peacock.
It's true though. It's true. But that's why I mind my own business. Like, I keep my coolness regulated to myself. Like I mind my own business.
Yeah,
If someone asked me what's your religion, it's literally me minding my own business. I believe in leaving people alone.
yeah,
You can only
yeah. If
debate
you're
with
not
them.
committing crimes or hurting me, then just like you can do whatever you want. You can only debate people that understand all people are equal. There is no exclusive privilege or priority to feelings. Right. And debate is not a feelings thing, it's a thought experiment. It's like watching all the lawyer channels I watch. Like, they have sometimes wildly different viewpoints and interpretations, but at the end of the day, they're like, all right, you want to go have a whiskey or whatever.
Yeah. I'm okay to hang out with a crowd like that. Like this one crowd, I think they're gonna judge me for being from the suburbs. Part of me thinks that'll be a point of contention.
Well, how do you know that? I mean, do you know that they're like from the inner city Chicago and not the suburbs and just trying to flex that they're from downtown?
That's a big thing here in LA where like, oh, up north, like someone will be like, I'm from Oakland. And you look at them, you're like, bro, it's okay to say you're from Modesto. It's okay to say you're from Stockton. Lodi is an awesome place. Like it's okay to say you're from these towns.
Right?
Like like even like where I'm from, we lead with the town we were born in because we don't say Los Angeles. I just say LA because I don't want to dox myself.
Yeah.
Because I stupidly moved back to my hometown.
There was you got some perks out of it. It wasn't the worst choice you probably ever made.
I wanted my son to be raised in a place where I knew it was he could go to the park and still play.
Yeah,
Like,
and then
let's
you'd
be
have lots
real.
of going missions.
It's true. It's true. And like I don't know how to even address that. My town's really harsh on homelessness, so we don't have homeless people here, but it's because the cops harass them.
Yeah, we've got the opposite problem. We were just like, hey, you need some camping space? And it's becoming a huge problem because there's like just random needles laying around and unsafe things.
A lot of people use their background of their group as a substitute for a personality too. And I think that's why I scare people because I'm not a stereotype when it comes to like a person of color. So it's almost intimidating because I'm beyond like when you're beyond someone's understanding as human beings, instead of saying, hey, I want to understand this, we try to hurt others. I've noticed that in the atheist community. People like I would take attention away from people and all of a sudden I'm the enemy. But really I'm just a shrub who likes to talk. Let's be real. and I sew like a crazy person. Butter, what did you miss? What did Butterfly miss?
Brunhilde got working again, and I didn't
Yay!
cry. Except now my
Alibaba.
is off kilter because it doesn't want to fit through its hole, and we're back to the innuendos again. Just the hookers and blow. Oh, Jesus.
Do you know what's so funny? I said that to my ex-wife, and she was like, "If you keep on saying that to me, I'm gonna hang out with you on the weekends." Because every weekend she's like, "What are you gonna do?" I said, nothing, just trouble. I'm gonna call some friends, hookers and blow." And she's like, "I'm gonna take you serious one day." They about the sewing, they can't prejudice you because of a classification.
Prejudge. You
Oh,
need to
prejudge. See, I need to put my glasses.
they can.
And that's what makes me reluctant a lot of the time from joining certain groups, because I do get judged for not being a stereotype, and it does intimidate people because there's other ways of living. People live different than you.
Yeah, we just need to get rid of the stereotype. Just like start talking to people and they're like, who are you as a human?
And like where I'm from, like I said in the beginning of the stream, like where I'm from, there's a lot of people like me that would look at them like they're different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's all perspective. And
It
in
is.
today's world, there's a lot more people of color that live in the suburbs, like at least in LA, like the demographics have changed. So there's a lot more people who are growing up like I did,
Right. And I think every people want to, for whatever reason, seem to feel safe when they're with their like tribe or whoever. Like they.
Yeah, because it's easier to abuse somebody when you're in a crowd, like, and that's another thing. I have that surfer twain and I stick up for myself. Like it
Mhm.
embarrasses people. I one of the reasons I'm reluctant is because I kind of went through this in a different community, and it's just I don't have the emotional space to deal with people's ego. That's why I love it here. I love what we do. I love the people. Like I love everything that's happened. The people that come on your stream, that come on my stream, because we're just here to stitch and bitch, literally.
Yes. Yep. The end of the weekly show gives you what I expect to deliver. Nothing more, nothing less. Hopefully, there's sewing and there will be a lot of bitching.
And I've noticed though, because we don't have like themes, there's nothing to be mad about. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. What are we going to complain? Like, oh, that would be so petty. Like, I don't like that you sew with only Gutermans and I'm sewing with vintage upholstery fabric and yarn thread. Like,
okay, that's funny. Okay, that's hilarious.
like
There are
just
people. Remember, I
there's
literally got
people
banned from
other sewing groups there. I know.
I got banned for stickers. Every time I look at my 301A, I'm like, you got me in so much trouble. You got me in so much trouble.
You bad sewing machine, bad sewing machine.
Somebody was like, I honestly don't understand. Right before and they didn't only kick me out, they blocked me.
Oh my god.
Because I went looking and I can't find that group, and I'm like, they literally blocked me. I just
Yeah, I don't get it, but I'm
well, that's different, Alibaba. I have a laundry list of complaints. I have a
that's true. Right, that's true. But we don't get petty over like everybody was here. I know I was gonna be helped and not like ridiculed for like, why'd you fuck up your machine that bad
oh
trying to
no.
do something stupid? I'm like, doesn't everybody abuse their machines every once in a while to push the
All I
limits and see what she's gonna, what they, him, it, alien's gonna do?
That's all I do is burn out sewing machines. Literally, like it's an issue. That's why I think I just need to bite the
Pony up
bullet, and
industrial.
I want to get I call it the YouTuber Juki.
Yes.
I want the what is her name? The one I obsessively
Stress.
watch.
Or
Swisha.
oh, see us, yeah.
I obsessively watch her on mute because she does like long streams, but she's
Yes.
sewing because she can do two things at once and I can't. So I
Well,
obsessively watch her streams while I'm sewing. Her and
right.
her sister are awesome.
They are good. Oh, one seems legit too. Those bag makers, their videos are just like
I love
at
that. I
least an
absolutely, yeah.
hour long.
I love watching those videos.
Oh, the Quilt Mafia got you for your stickers. And let's see here, Killer Right. We have people in the typewriter community who will get mad at you for doing your own things to, to to your own machine because they feel entitled that you're taking a typewriter from everybody else. Right? It's if you paid for it, it's yours. Mm, let's see here, Isaiah. And yes, Killer, you're just and okay, but that it should not be okay to shoot some. All right, we're back. The the young one is
Oh,
going
he wants
back
to
and
debate
reading our
me.
chat. I should stop swearing if there's a small
No,
human.
he's fine. Isaiah the Knight is my son who's 13 and has ASD and he obsessively reads and he wants to debate everyone now. He wants to debate the Afro humanist. He wants to debate like all the people I watch. He wants to debate them, and I don't blame him. Like he could hold his own because he actually pays attention and knows what he's talking about. He actually has some solid apologetics, you know.
Right, Andy doesn't probably play into the emote. He doesn't lead with his feelings first. He's like, "These are my facts.
Yeah,
I don't have feelings around here. I just speak words." Oh, butterfly. Oh, looks like that kid me. Oh, that sounds like a parenting moment. I'm staying out of that one, Killer. That's
I
between.
was I was the youngest, so I know how it is to taunt people. But I came from the era where my sister would swing on me on my face. It is a different time. It was a different time.
Right.
I have you two stuck in my head. Hold on, let me talk to this kid.
Okay. I love that suggestion, Ellie. I think that was you to take my needle off to thread it. But then sometimes I put the needle in wrong. So I'm like, what's the better of the two evils? Just like not being able to see and like threading by feel or not having it aligned correctly. Oh, I hear talking to being happened. Yes. Yep, I think there's parenting happening in the background.
Oh, is my mic that good?
It's kind of, yeah. I couldn't hear it completely
Oh, I
clearly.
said I said he's completely he's allowed to join, just don't harass people in the chat.
All right, don't make me ban you, kid.
I'm
I
practical. I'm a practical human being. Like, if you want to join, like when I was a kid, I used to hang out with adults in smoky rooms, but I'd sit in the corner with my mouth shut, taking notes.
right.
When my dad would hang out with his friends and stuff, or even my grandfather. My grandfather was obsessed with poker. I know how to play 5 card and 7 card because of him. But I sat in the corner and I would obsessively, I would just shut my mouth and watch them.
Yeah.
They were Scotch drinkers, though. They were old school.
Butterfly, I didn't need to. Somehow I just Allie walked me through of like massaging some stuff and rubbing here and gently sweet talking there and a little hope and a prayer and the verge of tears and a whole bunch of horrible innuendos and we made it to the other side.
But the awesome thing is that like I love the end result because it's like such a feeling of relief. I
Yeah,
love that feeling.
because I didn't know how I was going to screw up these faceplates. I'm still at some point kind of curious to see what the presser and needle bar looks like, but I might need that fancy like sewing machine um wrench set. That wow, those words were like very those twisty things, the
I
Phillips
know
head,
what you're saying now.
right? One of the best ways of getting used to problems on sewing machines is to get a super old one pre 1870s where you had to see the needle right. Yes, I don't think mine's that old, but we're
I've
not that
learned
far off either.
I kind of look at sewing machines like cars. I know a
Yeah,
lot about cars, but that's because I've owned a lot of crummy cars that I've had to fix them. So over the years, I've accumulated all this knowledge
Right.
about cars, and the same way with sewing machines.
Yeah, well, I feel a little emboldened now with this week. So maybe
That's
next
awesome.
week I will have a project on the back burner. Oh no, my house coat, my quilted house coat of many hours. That's my project. But maybe we will take Shmooly, that I've named my new machine, and we will walk through. We can walk. We can. People can learn me how to deal with the electrics underneath here, of on
Have you
taking
plugged it in
apart.
yet?
No, we are rewiring this bitch, and then we're gonna plug her in.
So I have a weird question. Is there like a light pole anywhere near your house?
A light pole.
Because I can teach you how to take the faceplate off a light pole and use that to power your sewing machine.
Okay, let's do this off stream. And I'm like, I know where there's some random
Or like,
buildings that aren't being fully occupied right now. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Take it over there and plug it in and see what happens. And run. Plug it in and run.
yeah, it's not quite. Fire season doesn't start for another 2 weeks, or and on the 15th. So we're still good. There's still. Do we have some water? Oh, how did I? Let's see here. Do. Oh, there's some chatter in between.
Yeah, it all came at once.
Right. Rory O'Meara has a YouTube video taking a faceplate off and placed it back on. All right, where's my screen shotter?
You know what? YouTube is so funny because there's certain videos where there's certain sewing machines where I type it in YouTube video for it. Other ones, I'm the reference for it.
That's why that's yeah, because there was nothing on this machine, and I feel like I need to, between the streams and I really need to get over my not wanting to do it and do pre-records, because there just is no videos about talking about the basic things for these like these old machines anymore. And if this machine is going to outlive me, then whoever has it, a small human I might know, is going to need me walking them through how to do the things.
No matter what, someone will watch it. I watch my early videos and I'm like, bruh, those were terrible. I got thousands of views, like you never know, especially on the ones I was not trying.
Yeah, let's see here, Ellie, and an old machine will get you thinking top dead center and timing just in the mind's eye. Yeah, I figured I was going to learn how to maintain my newer machines by fudging around with an old one. And yeah, oh, this is so true, Kilroy. That would feel weird to me trying to fucking. Oh no, that's the one I was looking for. Yeah, don't plug that in. You'll set it on fire. I think I'm super worried about those janky
I'm like Beavis and Butthead, like fire, fire, fire.
I do. I spin fire. I play with fire. I enjoy fire toys, but this electricity thing. I don't know. I would rather we have a group rewiring session.
Hold on, where's Smokey? Where's hold on, let me get Smokey. My left
We have
hand.
Smokey the Bear.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Exactly, which
He's
is
twisting.
why I'm not going to plug this machine in until we've been educated of how to unwire and rewire this machine.
I used to wear Smokey everywhere, but I didn't want to lose that pen, so I stopped wearing it.
Thinking that would feel weird to me, trying to find info on a machine and seeing my own videos pop up.
It's surreal. It is surreal. Especially if you type in Japanese clone now, Godless Sewing will type up, even if you Google it.
Yep.
And so whenever I type in Japanese clone, like I'll see my thumbnails and I'm like, not you. I wasn't looking for you.
I want somebody else to give me some information. I already know what I can talk about it.
And I have pages of notes and I hold back a lot. Like it's different. Like when I made my Francisco video, I cared, so I put detail into that. Or when I made the We're Killing the Planet video. Gosh, that's almost 2 years ago. No one watched it. It's still on my channel.
Okay. Everybody's homework before tomorrow's stream so we can wrangle them about it later.
You know what? I just showed a picture of a river in India because they don't have regulations like we do. And
Mm-hmm.
because, the dyeing process is traumatic
Yeah.
for making clothes because you're just constantly using the
Oh, you
same
mean
water over and
D-I-E?
over.
Yes, not D-I-E. Sorry. Clothes kill kids. Don't die.
It's my English.
No, it's similes.
So and it actually is a passion of mine, but no one and I'm not saying this to be mean or I'm not trying to be Eeyore, so I'm not looking for sympathy, but no one cares. No one cares. It goes back to my whole Care Bear thing of like when I first came in, I was really nice and people kicked the crap out of me for being nice because I'm just a nice person, so it made me cold. But when I make my environmental videos, and of course people weren't subscribed to me back then, but no one cared. When I made a tiny sewing machine video, that was the first time I ever got over 1,000 views.
Right. It's funny what people are interested in, and people like cute tiny things.
And I don't like saying this because it's been my bread and butter, but I don't care. I really don't even like tiny sewing machines. They're over ambitious. They're slow. And unless it's an Elna, it really doesn't even, they're really not even that solid.
Mm-hmm.
My tiny tailor made me famous. At least, people know who I am because of my stinky tiny tailor, so I won't dog it too much, but.
Oh, that's so funny. Everything's so great. The timing, but she does not. Brunhilde says, "Bitch, don't take this vinyl next to me. We are not having it. Now it won't sew."
You gotta start the process all over again.
I know. I
Grab your violin. We're marching back to Carnegie Hall. We're marching
right.
right back.
I know it's just as simple as all right. Wow, she said she's over this vinyl for a while. I guess I'll just have to respect her for that and see if she sells cottons again.
You know what, Kilroy? I stopped myself from Amazoning an $80 imitation to the Singer M100 because it's the exact same sewing machine. It's just a bootleg. I was like, I can't do it. I can't just for the views because it's just going to sit here like my tiny tailor.
Right, until you're monetized and your channel's making you money, you need a way to recoup that investment.
Because the tiny sewing machines do get the views and do get my subscribers up. I have not checked. Let's check to see how many people have seen the one where I put Tiny Tim as the thumbnail. That was kind of that was ingenious because a ton of people watched that. Let's see. Where is it?
Okay.
I'm getting a bunch of notifications from all the hockey groups I'm in. Oh, that's so funny. We have no lives, kids. We have no.
No, we're here stitching and bitching on a Sunday.
Ooh, I'm talking about the hockey groups because hockey, man, you got to really be into hockey to talk hockey all year long.
Right? Isn't there an off season for a reason?
Hockey has the shortest off season. It's like basketball and baseball. They go forever.
Right.
Where is that? I've made so many videos. Do you know of all the labels I ever had, I never thought YouTuber would be one. Almost derogatory. 4,000 people have watched that video.
Oh, wow.
Wow. It was when I finally broke down and told the truth about tiny sewing machines. I was like, look, I told the truth. I was like, they're impractical, but look here.
Right.
Kilroy, the cup is going on right now. Last night, Vegas actually won game 1. It was exciting. We have the same teams are in the cup every year. So this year it's exciting to see different players.
Yeah.
So I watched every minute of it. Sometimes I think sports is rigged the older I get. Is she working?
Oh, Yeah, she just oh mm, yeah no, but at least I know it's just me sitting here sewing, but not sewing until she decides to catch up with herself. But that's less stressful than not knowing how to fix the problem and all that's jacked up. Not being
Oh,
able
I
to
can
figure out
see it.
any resource of like, because it doesn't say in the manual of the whole 28 pages of it how to fix if the timing's off. At least that
Do you
I
know what's
could.
really funny? Back then, they thought of every detail, so I think it's funny that they don't have that in the manual because they were so intricate back then.
I know, like the parts picture on the and the front two pages is like amazing. It talks about how to use all the feet and stuff, but I'm gonna have to go back in case I missed it. But
And I know Kilroy has seen my birth of a sewing machine video on Rumble, but like if you're bored and you like to smoke, or you're just bored, smoking
right,
isn't involved.
just
But
no required.
I stole a video from the Museum of Scotland, and it shows the entire process of. I can't say it correctly. I know you know what I'm talking about, Alibaba. Clydebank, Ciderbank, Clydebank, Scotland. It shows the entire process of making a sewing machine. It, Kilroy kind of put it the best. It's magical. Like footage
Yeah,
like that is magic because these people don't exist anymore. I I I watched it again. That's how I saw Kilroy's comment because Rumble's really bad at letting me know that people comment on my videos.
they're having some growing pains. Well, they've been having growing pains. Hopefully tomorrow, start setting up earlier. I usually get most of my Rumble stream set up first, and then I go over to my other streaming software because I know that's going to be smoother and then just plunk it in. But I think there's a rite of passage as a new Rumbler. Like if you haven't had a day where it takes you 8 times to get your live stream set up, then they're like, you're not worthy. But then today, it was done the first time. It's a rite of passage on Rumble. You just have to just suck it up.
I've had Odyssey for almost 2 years now, and I understand growing pains. I understand. But Odyssey is just like they're all kind of I don't know. Odyssey has the same restrictions that YouTube has, and they advertise that they don't, but they're very restrictive.
Yeah, their Rumble is not that. Rumble
No, they let me
is
play
the
all my
free.
bootleg stuff.
Yes, it's the free speech haven of the internet. France was like, we want you to block stuff. Rumble was like, no, France, you can just block us over there.
Clydebank. Kilbowie Plan is the nickname. Thank you so much for respecting what I said. I love you so much. Thank you.
Rumble's comment system does suck, and I hate that I can't block channels because I couldn't give less of a shit about what 95% of it is on there. Fair. Presently, the site is the Dunbarton Museum and Library Sewing and Maritime Museum locations. I think as more creators go over there, it'll be easier to filter out stuff that folks like or don't like. There's a should be a way to. I mean, you can block people. There should be a way to block channels.
I love crazy people. I'm subscribed to an ivermectin interjecting kind of guy. It's called Nuga Radio. And I'm obsessed with it because this guy he says that like atheists are zombies, the Pope is a secret agent, like and this man has the equipment for a radio station. He has a legitimate radio station, but he is off. Even his co-host is like, really? Like even sometimes his co-host is like, wow, you're going so far whacked out in outer space. You're going too far even for me. Oh, I'm addicted to it. I am addicted to it. It's literally somebody sitting there making stuff up. But he
Well,
believes it. I love this guy. I love this guy. Says the guy who bought a Cuck jersey. What do I know?
Ah, fodder for tomorrow's picking on.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I have pictures of my Hobby Lobby trip with the manager following me around.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, that'll be a fun story to get the fleshed out details tomorrow.
It's just weird. It's just like it's so oh my gosh, and it's so different here. Like the manager followed me around, okay? I get to the counter when I purchased go ahead.
Okay, Lori. I know I
Or
screenshotted this
Mira?
already. Lori O'Meara is taken off the white rotary has taken off the white rotary faceplate. She has the zigzag and I think embroidery though still up. Same white vertical shuttle, some white vertical shuttle bobbin videos too. Okay. Why don't this does not need to be a video, just take a picture.
So I get to the counter at Hobby Lobby and the lady sees my godless sewing vest. She looks me in the eye and she's like, I love your vest. She used to ride with Satan, with the Satan's disciples in Venice in the 70s. And I looked in her eyes and I'm like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. Like she was like, and I was like, you know what? I hope I live long enough to be like her.
Yeah,
To see the next generation like go on. I had a really weird trip at Hobby Lobby last time. My godless sewing patches usually don't scare people because once they see it's godless sewing, it's more confusion than fear.
right.
And I picked those colors on purpose.
The king of Arizona is using his belly button as a radio transmitter to contact the real JFK who's still alive. Oh my gosh, that is
I'm
makes me
telling
think.
you, Kilroy, I'm telling you, this guy's lit.
What was CNN thinking when they had the clip of RFK Jr. and said that he was a Republican? Like that guy is so that family so dyed blue Democrat. Like, what were they just trolling on him?
Some kid got bored and probably got fired. Someone didn't know. Like we are reaching a generation of people who don't know who like I'll never forget the day I was at my job and I said, "Man, I feel like Al Bundy." And someone looked at me and was like, "Who's Al Bundy?" Okay, that was my reaction. Your reaction was I literally gasped. I was like, like that's what I'm saying. Like we have reached a point where people don't know about things that happened 30, 40 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 40 or
I
50
do.
is 100 to them, you know?
I know. I make it a mission every time I meet a toddler or a small human that this is a phone. If you're
Yeah.
pantomiming it, this is not a phone. This is a phone.
I actually used to stream with somebody who every time I would reference a movie, they would be like, I haven't seen that. And it would throw me off. It would derail me. I would forget what I was talking about because I would have to address the issue of like, okay, how come you have not seen The Lion King? What planet are you from? Like every generation has seen The Lion King. What's wrong with
I know. I
and
even saw the musical in Toronto.
this person was from New Jersey, so they were from a major city like everybody else.
Yeah, and New York's not that far away. You could have heard it, seen it on Broadway.
So and that's another thing. I don't know. I'm overanalyzing it, and I'm probably gonna end up joining this group of individuals anyways. But like, um, I feel like that with this other crowd too, that there's always an age difference.
Mm-hmm.
And so our like some of my references are antiquated, like Al
Yeah.
Bundy, or when I say "come as you are," you were the first person to catch that. You were literally the first person. I've been saying that for years, and nobody caught it. Nobody caught it.
I mean, I remember exactly where I was the day Kurt Cobain died. That was like one of my
Same.
like I actually it was so funny because it was at a sleepover. So my religious education happened somehow the church had property that was like adjacent to the school. So we would like leave school and walk down and do our
Awesome.
stuff once a week. And there was we were having like a sleepover for something, and that happened to be the day. And the girl who lived up the street like had an absolute meltdown. Like there was tears.
I
Yeah.
Same with Tupac. I dated a young
Mm-hmm.
woman who was obsessed with him. So I will never forget the day Tupac died. And still to this day, she's actually from Canada, lives in the suburbs. And I think she watches my other channel, but I don't think she's watching here. She has a Tupac tattoo
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness.
that she got
Is
like
this
in
like
the
Jada Pinkett's like nemesis?
well, it's her twin sister. Let's just put it that. You know what's funny? She shaves her head
Okay,
too.
no, Kilroy, this is not a fun fact. 2040 and 2006 are the same amount of time away.
I hope they let me
No,
smoke weed in the
20
old folks'
years
home.
ago was 1960. You might have to put it in a vape.
That's more like smoking is natural. You know what's so funny? Smoking will be legal.
No,
Vaping
I
will be
need the.
way illegal.
No, but there's the pens that you can put the buds in and vape the buds, not the liquid concentrate.
Oh, I need one of those because the liquid concentrate gives me pneumonia.
Yeah, no, there's pens that you can actually put plant material in, and they're probably like USB chargeable.
I think about the future all the time, and I feel like we're robbed. Like, where's my Jetsons future? And when I say Jetsons, I mean the one that included people of color. Go back and watch the Jetsons. Not even the robots were brown.
True.
I love the analogy of the Jetsons and the Flintstones happened at the same time, and that the Flintstones lived in
Yeah.
a post-apocalyptic world. Hey,
That's funny.
butterfly! Hey.
Hey, hey! Don't wait for me. Don't we do time carried on, unfortunately. We are now 1,000 years old, and
I do.
I think
I agree
vaping
with you.
is going to
Oh,
be
sorry.
cracked down and banned. They're trying.
In Florida, it was completely banned and illegal a couple of years ago. You can't even UPS it there
Well, I thought, doesn't California, you can't have the flavored ones?
because they don't indulge in it. I have no idea because it's so harmful to. Says the guy who compulsively smokes. Because of my asthma, it gives me instant pneumonia. But like I could smoke all day long and not get sick, but because the vapors just make me ill.
Mm-hmm. The vapors.
I'm sure that was
I'm
me
sure that was
from
me. Oh, you are a-okay, honey.
that I laugh because like when I go to the shop, like I'm considered the old man because I still smoke. I just smoke. I don't buy cartridges. They always laugh because I go
Uh-huh.
straight to the counter, and all the girls are laughing because like I'm like one of the only people that still like smokes.
Right? Like, I need your actual bud section.
I call it the old man section because everyone in there is over 40. Everyone,
Oh my goodness.
I'm serious. It's you could one day. I'm gonna do a survey if I'm ever that bored, and I'm not. I know the owner though. I should ask him. It's an age thing, but I don't know. Watch, we're gonna find out how harmful vaping is. Like 20, 30 years from now, popcorn lung is real. I constantly watch documentaries trying to scare myself. In about a year or no, wow, I was still streaming with those people. So about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I cracked the code. I got a vape pen and I gave myself pneumonia. And you could see it on stream. I was on prednisone and everything. I gave myself pneumonia. You could see me panting on the stream. because it was just coating my lungs.
Hmm.
So I cannot vape to save my
That's
life.
right. I'm back in business again. We've reset the timing like three
Are we
times
are we
today
in
on this
Carnegie?
machine. Twice.
Are we in
Yes.
Carnegie Hall again?
I need to build this muscle bigger because I only have one good flex right now. Yeah, vaping is guinea pigs. Well, let's not go down to the rabbit hole of chemical guinea pigs because there's certain injectable substances that many were forced to get or chose to get that may also be guinea pigging ourselves because there's no control group. Is that a hammer dulcimer? Ooh, she needs a tuning. Ooh,
It's
oh
an
god.
auto. It's an auto harp. It's a way out of tune auto harp.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's painfully
That's
out of tune.
this is World War II. This is like World War II era. So fun fact, we were redoing buildings at the ranch and I found this.
And you're like, you're coming home with Papa.
Oh, I put it in the truck in the front seat. I was like, this was years and years and years ago, but I found this on the ranch. Yeah, popcorn lung is real. And man, people and they found out the same thing with spice. It was giving people popcorn lung as well. Like that stuff will end your life, but no medical advice, no legal or medical advice.
No, no legal, medical, financial, election fortification. There's no advice. If you happen to learn something, it was an accident. And today I learned stuff, but I was hoping it was going to happen because I was like, oh, I'm shit up the creek if I don't learn how to do this.
If you think this is bad, I won't pull out my 6-string banjo. I'm a bit tone deaf. No, this thing has never been tuned. I wouldn't even know where to begin to tune this thing, you know. I love this thing. It like I have
Yeah.
this room, I have a museum in this room.
Yes, you do. Okay. Oh, one spool down. I love is does anybody get a huge sense of satisfaction when a spool is like all empty and you're like, I emptied that? Or is it just me? Now I gotta microwave a bag of popcorn. All right, you go do that, Killer Roy. Ow!
What was that?
Okay. I stuck my finger on the needle. No, no. Yeah. At least I
Ouch.
didn't bleed.
I heard that. It sounded like you were plucking a guitar.
Yeah, no, that was needle against finger. She's in there kind of tight. Well,
Well,
with
with
six
6 strings.
strings, that isn't a banjo. It's a guitar.
Okay. So fun fact, as somebody who has a 4-string and a 6-string, a 6-string I don't know if it was an invention made to piss off banjo purists, but the bottom strings are the first 2 top strings are guitar strings and everything else is a banjo. So that is what a 6-string banjo is. I won't play it. I'll show it to you though. Oh. This is my out of tune Dean. Have we reached the Elvis hour of the live stream? It's not as out of tune as the auto harp. But yes, this is a 6-string that has been beaten up through life. I actually used to travel around with this thing. I love this. I have whoops. I have a 4-string. I keep on hitting my light above my head with. Oh, butterfly popcorn lung is what happens when you vape too much and you can't breathe. Popcorn lung is real. This you think this is rare? I bought this. I spent a whole paycheck on this when I first came back from Oregon because I was so bored. I needed entertainment, so I bought a banjo. I also have a four-string Fender, but I can't claim I didn't buy it. My father did because I don't have that kind of money. And my Fender, like I put it in my videos and I play it all the time, but I don't cart that thing around too much because it's like a $2,000 or $3,000 banjo.
Yeah, no, we're. Oh my god, we haven't talked about food yet. So I've got my food product. My today we have submarinos, which is like a Twinkie.
Ooh.
But I've heard that there's not enough filling. Here, I'll try not to.
Do you know what's so funny? I had a Twinkie addiction.
Oh yeah, there's not a lot of white creamy filling in there. It's mostly cake.
Do you know the internet ruined that saying for me? It's cake. It's all cake. Do you remember the cake when the people were turning everything into cake? That drove me mentally
I think
insane.
so. Yeah, not worth it. The chips from India way better, but I like a salty snack rather than a sweet thing most of the time.
That is so funny, Alibaba. You know everything. I'm gonna fly you to my house so that you can tell me what I have in my house. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even saying that to be facetious. I'm serious. Yeah,
No,
no,
I think we all want to just rent Ailey's brain and for a while.
I bought that and the guy gave it to me for a good deal because it'd been sitting there for a long time. I'm obsessed with the banjo. My four string is the one where I sit around and confuse the neighbors.
We don't live in Appalachia. Yes, I agree with that statement, Kilroy. If Allie does not enjoy their current employment at Sotheby's or a giant auction house, that would I could see that.
I can't believe my Dean is rare. I've had that thing forever. Oh, that makes me laugh. I'm glad there was a kid at the Guitar Center that broke the bridge on it, and I took it to. I was so mad. They offered me money for it and everything. I was like, "Just hand me my banjo," because I tried to get new
Right.
strings on it, and there was another guy who fixed it for me
Yeah, I need to take my
because.
violin to the luthier.
Well, I made the mistake of going to Guitar Center first, and I should have gone to my local music store because they care.
Yeah. Yeah, for fancy things, you go to well, they call them luthiers, people who just work on stringed instruments. That's your best bet. People who like rehair bows for violins, cellos, violas, or fix sound posts or sell bridges.
Do you know what's funny, Kilroy? I would sell that one. I would never sell my dad's banjo. Man, when I pass away, I'm gonna bury me like the pharaoh. There's gonna be college kids. College kids are gonna be looking for my tomb. Wow, I had no idea. Alibaba, my brain is like, maybe you should sell it. My brain's like, because at the end of the day, I'm a capitalist, and I have another banjo that like I actually play on my four string because it's a it's a banjo. Oh, that's
Right.
funny.
It doesn't scare me with those two extra strings.
Well, the fact that it's a Fender, like it's just the price goes up.
Right. The name was like, you're worth 10% more even if you're crap.
I, I guess I can hear the difference, but I guess I really can't. That's so funny. Alibaba and Kilroy and Butterfly, you guys are gonna have to join us one day.
Sorry for the quiz. I thought I heard like bizarre cat yelling because the cats are outside with human, and I'm like, what? Something just sounded weird.
I've actually had quite a
Yep.
few.
Get that appraised.
I actually have an appraiser because when my grandparents, when I redid my grandparents' house, my family was fighting so much that they didn't realize that I literally kept everything they didn't fight over. And so I had every painting my grandma ever had, and I got everything appraised. And okay, have if anyone's seen the shot of my closet, those three paintings in the middle bedroom are worth like a car each. That's why they're in the house.
But you don't take it to a general appraiser. Take it to somebody who actually knows musical instruments because it's different.
Well,
It's
I had an art. I
good.
the person
Oh well.
who came to my house was an art appraiser.
Okay, yeah. So that would be different than for musical instruments or stringed instruments. It's called a luthier, Luth, with some vowels and an R at the end.
Luthier.
Yeah, but I'm sure you've got to sit. There's probably a gajillion of them by you because you can't have a city with a symphony or an orchestra or a ballet with musicians. Like, and there's a music school down there. There's places. Look for. They usually also sometimes they'll sell instruments, all like stringed instruments also, but look for somebody who like. Do you need your violin bow rehaired? That would be the
Mm.
same type of person.
I actually know a
Have you
professional
had the
opera singer.
red? No, oh, red bean paste. That sounds good. Those red bean paste cake. We're getting to the time where I stop. Words are not my friend. Have I had the red bean paste cakes from Japan? I don't think I've had the Japanese ones, but I think at the Chinese buffet, I did have some peach buns that had red bean paste in it.
Do they taste like
I
the bean
used to have.
pies that the Muslims sell? They're actually really good. They love me
I
because
don't think I
I
have
love
had
them.
those, but they're sweet and yummy.
They're
It's like,
so
oh,
good.
beans and sweet things. It is a good combination.
In
I used to have a.
oh
Oh, go
sorry.
ahead.
No, in old school
Um.
Venice, the Muslims used to they would make them and sell them on the boardwalk. And they were the
Okay.
greatest things. Oh my god, they were so good. The
Ellie
the
used to.
Malcolm X, with the bow tie, the 5%
Yeah.
Muslims.
Right. Ellie used to have a '66 Fender Telecaster. Hated it. Was mint, but a piece of junk. 1952 body with a '66 neck. Yeah. When you start
Wow.
hacking pieces together, sometimes it doesn't work. And they know how to spell luthier for me. I was in the right ballpark. Some LUTH and some vowels with an R. It was impossible to keep the fender in tune or intonation would twist and warp with changes in humidity and temp. Yeah, so an instrument, the neck and the body are meant to stay as one unit, and when you start fuddling around, they aren't the same friends anymore. Red bean paste. What I have had so far was good, not too sweet. I know that's what I like it too. It's not like American sickly sweet nastiness. Hearing this music instrument talk makes me realize that sewing isn't expensive. It's damn cheap by comparison.
Do you know what's really funny? Now that I'm sitting here, I the Fender is worth more money than every sewing machine that I paid for in this room. Just one piece is worth than everything that I spent money for. That's
Yeah,
so
my violin
funny.
is more expensive. Or when I bought it, well, no, my parents bought it for me. Who am I kidding? I did not buy it when it came to me. But it's Canadian and it's special because it's not full size. It's only 7/8 size because I'm little. I have an odd. I should take it out and make sure it's okay.
That's what happened between my dean, my dad was so jealous. I would walk around with my banjo. I took it to the job. I loved it. And because he was rich, he went and bought a Fender.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
so sad that someone bought out Fender in '66 and they looked at the discard bin and used all those parts in the '66. Yeah,
wow.
it's just not right. Like I don't know, instrument parts are meant to like sewing machine parts, sometimes you can interchange things. But as I've learned, my Eldridge rotary is not gonna, the presser feet aren't gonna fit on my white rotary. Like there's some things you can intermingle, and there's some things that are like, nope, we are a hard pass 2 millimeters off, and we will not fit your needle through our hole. The 52 body has had so many paint jobs, like almost 100. Oh my gosh. It would be funny to take a piece of it to um like a geode where you just like took off all the layers to get to back to the original color that showed all of the pieces in it. Ooh, hello, banjo.
I had to. I was talking about it, and sometimes I'm one of those people that you should show it instead of talk about it,
Right?
because people are like, "There's no way, godless sewing, you can have all of this." I'm a hoarder. Ooh, this thing is so fragile. But this thing is worth more than all of the sewing machines in this room.
Pretty, pretty. I like
Oh,
the
this
detail on the top.
this thing is a work of art. And you can see this thing is so clean, you can literally see your reflection
I
in
know. Don't dox yourself. She's so clean. She's like a mirror.
it. I love this thing. And a banjo is literally a concert all by itself, because banjos bray. They are so loud. They are so loud. Oh, I drive my neighbors crazy with this. If you ever look up, if you're ever bored, look up. Oh, this thing amplifies my voice too. Can you hear that?
Yes, that's a good sound box.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh man, you're going right back in the case, buddy.
No, I'm too scared to touch you.
Do I have my finger picks? That I'm gonna play my face off tonight. Their finger picks are somewhere around here. It's a good passive aggressive way to drive your neighbors insane too.
Yeah.
Play the banjo on the side of the house.
Right, this is how you're gonna call Odin and all the other cats. You're like, this is the feeding time music.
I love that thing, Alibaba. I absolutely love that thing. I treat that like gold. My Dean, I've beat up. I walk around with that thing. I still put it in my car with me. Like, I'm a mess.
Oh, stringed instruments don't like to be. We like to be climate controlled.
I love that stinking thing. I love that stinking thing. I'm a hobby-driven kind of person. I can't just sit around and stare at the wall.
Yeah.
I'm an extremely active human being. Banjo for the neighbors. It worked, man.
It'll either make you friends or lots of enemies. There's no in between on that one.
I had no idea. Alibaba, you have taught me something new today. I had no idea my Dean was worth anything. I thought it kind of thought it was old and obsolete, to tell you the honest truth. I just like picking and grinning on it, like Johnny Cash used to say.
Mm-hmm. Oh man. Oh wow. All right, folks, we are at 3 hours and 30 minutes. I'm all out of topics for today, but I've had so much fun. And I seriously, one last plug. I appreciate everybody whose brain and thoughts and comments helped me not break into tears on today's stream, because I started off this stream of I think I'm gonna dirty, ugly cry today.
We're here for you. The sewing community that you have built is here for you.
Well,
To
thank
help.
you for sharing everybody who's come over. Oh, Killer Ice saying here, I get bummed out when I don't have projects to work on, relaxing on a beach. is my idea of how certain buyers want the. But being on the beach with a sewing project and picking up seashells, like we can turn the beach fun.
I've been thinking
I
about.
just, oh my god.
I'm going back to. I haven't gone back to Ventura ever since I got pulled over, and that was a while ago. So I think I need to go back because I was just mad because they stuck me for almost $6,000 for getting pulled over and towing my car. So I'm
Jesus
just still
Christ.
mad. I'm just still mad about it. Really, let's be real. But
Yeah, that's a. Oh god.
let me get my shill ready. Okay. So
Right.
right now I have a video out about fabric. Tomorrow I will be going off about my cuck jersey, about being followed around in Hobby Lobby, and I will have finished the spans that Kilroy has inspired because Kilroy commented on my video. And I was like, you ask and you shall receive. I'm going to make giant spans out of this material. And I'm using this fancy lining. Bob's your uncle.
Okay. Don't wait until tomorrow to be fabulous today, and don't laugh at others unless you've laughed at yourself. All right, have a great folk night, everybody. Stay amazing. I'll see you tomorrow or next week. Bye.
Rock out with your clock out.
Yes.